It's a fascinating country, India. You're willing to look the right places, and it's given plenty of memories. And the place to be if you're in India, and if you're lucky enough, you know the right people, is this Wankhede Stadium, the venue for the finals of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2011. Men walking out, two huge names in world cricket. One legend playing on his home soil, where he played his Ranji Trophy match as a 14-year-old. Sachin Tendulkar on the right, Virendra Sehwag on the left. It's a new look stadium, but the pitch continues to be pretty much similar to the surface that Tendulkar has been used to batting on. And India have been set a target of 275 runs to win in their 50 overs.
Lasith Malinga, straight away, a different look to the field, a sweeper and the third man in place, and of course the two slips.
Here we go, Lasith Malinga. First ball on line, and the first ball hasn't disappeared for four.
Well, that's because he didn't try to hit it. I think it was a very good delivery. He also realizes India are chasing 275. Not an easy task, and therefore he's not going to throw it away.
So Sri Lanka straight away able to get the Indian batsman to do something different.
Right, we've got two slips. The point fielder is going to be important for Virendra Sehwag. They've got a sweeper cover and a third man. They've got two deep men. Oh, this is going to be close. The finger goes up. And Virendra Sehwag has gone for a review instantly. The second time he's done that in the tournament. He doesn't wait to consult his partner. He's gone for the review.
Well, he obviously must feel that he has edged the ball, because if he hasn't edged the ball, I think he's a goner.
There's no other chance. The step looks all right, so it's a legal delivery.
Have a look at this. Is there an edge? Well, the first replay that we see, nothing to suggest that there is a deflection, there is a blur as well. So the TV umpire from that angle wouldn't know whether there's an inside edge. Here's another one.
Yes, he's been stuck on the front pad. He's just moved away. When he does that, he can see his middle and off stump. So he maybe feels that it might be going down the leg side. Maybe he feels the ball has cut in a little too much. But remember, he was out LBW playing across the line to Wahab Riaz in the game against Pakistan. Now when the ball has hit him, the middle and off stump are visible. And that is what will give him a little bit of a chance in case the ball's holding his line.
Third umpire very keen to see whether there's an inside edge. I don't think he's too worried about where the ball is heading. Just wants to look at any deflection at all. Here's another look. Yeah, just looking at inside edge at the moment. Let's try and hear it. Doesn't seem like there was a noise of wood on that one.
What do you think, Russell? Inside edge?
Certainly not going over the top. And I certainly can't pick up an inside edge. And all Sri Lanka needed for it to clip.
Well, he's a goner. No inside edge. That was the only thing that could have saved Virendra Sehwag. 3 reds. And it's going to be curtains for Virendra Sehwag. Once again, the finger goes up to confirm his original decision. And this is a huge setback for India. Celebrations there in the dressing room of Sri Lanka. It's 0 for 1. It's a very accomplished batsman, Gautam Gambhir. Left-handed, batting at number 3. An established test player for India, opens the innings in test matches. So this is something he'll be used to. The pace of Lasith Malinga and the skills of Lasith Malinga, who's got that first breakthrough. What a big one that was.
The ball just skidded and thudded into the pads. Came off the pitch very quickly. Virendra Sehwag looking to play against the line, across the line was LBW.
Oh, rushing in was the fielder at square leg. That's a boundary to Gautam Gambhir. Gets off the mark with a nice clip on the leg side.
And look at the cheers from the crowd. Malinga's got a smile on his face. He knows the ball came off the pitch again pretty quickly. Look at the pace at which it's come off.
Not too much bounce also. But he was looking to bowl that leg side line. He's got fielders on the leg side. Now the leg slip has just been moved to a catching position in front, just behind the crease. So this is unorthodox. So Sangakkara trying different things.
Oh, inside edge. That's the thing with Lasith Malinga. He bowls with pace, but he's also quite accurate.
This is Sehwag, the second ball of the inning. Beaten for pace.
There was no inside edge. If Sehwag, I don't know whether he thought there was an inside edge. If there was no inside edge, couldn't understand that instant request for review. The second time he's done that in this tournament. And without consulting somebody like Tendulkar at the other end. So that's one review gone for India. Let's hope it doesn't cost India too much. Good stop.
Tilakratne Dilshan.
He's an outstanding fielder, and that is the LBW again.
You can see the middle and off stump, so probably Virendra Sehwag just looked down, saw that, and maybe thought that it was going down leg stump or leg side.
I think if the ball had cut in a little bit, yes, he had a chance, but the ball just held its line. Didn't seem to have moved either away or into him. Just a straight delivery. He missed it.
Rising delivery to finish the over. 4 for 1.
The top start for Lasith Malinga. He has picked up vital wickets for Sri Lanka, but that has been later on in the innings. So with the new ball, it's a big bonus. And Sehwag, he's the one who will give the Indian team momentum. Gambhir and Tendulkar, very capable. Have to work harder.
It's been the strength of this Indian World Cup team, the batting depth that we just saw. They've lost one. That never deters this team. One Kulashekara, age 28. This one will get the ball to come back in. He's a good one-day bowler, at one time ranked number 1. Doesn't bowl the outswingers, so he can be very economical, testing with his line. And the man on strike, Sachin Tendulkar. Not only has he seen the game change around him, he's seen his home ground change around him. And has a good record at the Wankhede Stadium. Starts off positively, runs the first one quickly. So he's off the mark.
Yeah, he just opened the face of the bat. But look at this man move. Wouldn't that make the Sri Lankans feel much better? He was the fielder down. They had to run about 20 meters. Look at him go.
Oh, he was a brilliant fielder when he was young. And he still has a good arm. If there was any talk about any injury, well, certainly it didn't seem with that sprint to stop the ball going for a boundary. And just giving away a single. That is terrific work by Muthaiya Muralidharan.
One slip, one gully to Gautam Gambhir.
Well, Murali, he's got a part to play today. He's been bowling with lots of confidence. Much slower in his pace. That's his World Cup career. Just needs the 2 wickets to tie with Glenn McGrath.
Well, Kulasekara has to get his line right because he's moved Murli squarer, so a little bit of deflection of the left-hander's pads or the bat is going to go for a boundary. Most captains now today keep the fielder at fine leg squarer, so a little bit of deflection off the pads is a boundary. It's a lot of pressure on the bowler. He's got to get his line right.
He'll be more comfortable against the right-hander. We know what we get from him. Pitches just outside off stump, nips it back in. And that's why you have the leg side packed with fielders.
Well, I'm not too sure that this is a good idea, having a shy at the stumps. It looks pretty good, but it can deflect and go for runs. Unless there's an absolute chance of a run out, and you can't see that there's a chance of a run out because you're looking at the ball, your back is to the field, to the non-striker.
A lovely shot. That's a back foot cover drive. Short man standing tall. Ishan will drag it back. 3 runs to Tendulkar.
Well, that's the kind of shot that makes you feel that the man is looking good, in form. The punch through the covers off the back foot. That is normally an indication that Tendulkar is moving well, is batting well. Not so much the straight drive, not the flick of the pads. It's the punch off the back foot through the covers, and he's played it so early.
Get a single, Gautam Gambhir. 2 overs gone, it's 10 for 1.
The Sri Lankans do believe they're on their toes. Already saved a few runs. Tilakratna Dilshan in the forefront. They'll have to battle all the way to defend that 274 for 6. Which didn't look possible at all, but Mahela Jayawardene, wasn't he special?
What an innings that was from Mahela Jayawardene. Lost Sangakkara quite early in that partnership. Sangakkara getting 48. It's amazing that he looked like he was playing the sheet anchor role. He was still scoring at well over 100 as the strike rate.
Well, he batted through. That was the key. Love the others, especially Thisara Perera, to come at the end and make a difference. But before the end, a vital partnership between Mahela Jayawardene and Nuwan Kulasekara. We were all surprised when he walked in at number 7. We know he gives a straight bat and he's useful, but he proved very vital in the end. Supported Jayawardene all the way through. 32 of 30 he made.
And what a partnership that was with Mahela Jayawardene. Gave Jayawardene the confidence that there was somebody willing to stay with him. Good running that. India need to mark a fielder, spot a fielder from whom they can take the extra run.
That time it was Muralidharan. Not timing it well enough, but he realized early that the fielder was on the circle. And generally, if you're off straight away, you're home with time to spare.
Well, he's taken a hat-trick in this tournament, Lasith Malinga. So he's never easy for a new batsman, and now the field changes. And for Tendulkar, they've got a short sort of cover point. Not short point, but short cover point. You can see how he changes his game according to the bowler. Looking to keep his back lift low, to get onto the front foot because of kind of angle that Malinga creates. He doesn't want to play him too much off the back foot.
Yes, because he knows that Malinga can skid off this pitch. I'm not too sure if there's been any dew around, but if there is any dew, we should probably settle in another half an hour or so. The ball will skid off the pitch a little bit more than it had when Sri Lanka were batting.
There again, looking to push forward. Although he played that not off the front foot, looking to get forward.
Just for Malinga to get bounce, he's got to go much shorter than that. So he'll know all about him, the teammates, and he handles him. But when the dew comes in, for that to count, India need to make sure that they consolidate in this period and around the 30th over have at least 7 wickets, 8 wickets in the bag.
It'll make their job a lot easier if the dew comes in, so they'll be really hoping it's one of those nights. Nicely played on the onside. Murli after it. 2 more runs. He's looking in good touch.
Yes, he seems to have a lot of time to play the shots as well. Not just this push shot to mid-wicket for 2 runs, but even the earlier 2 deliveries. He seemed to be middling the ball very well in front of the pad. Not being hurried, not being rushed by Malinga. That's a good sign. That's a good omen for Sachin Tendulkar and for India. Middling the ball.
We haven't seen the ball swing though. It's just the skiddy factor that the batsmen do need to watch out for now at this stage.
Well played. And once again, good timing on that one. Dilshan is quick. He's lightning quick. Just the 2 runs. 5 runs coming from that over. It's 15 for 1.
Well, that's outstanding fielding by the Sri Lankan. They really are charged up. Chasing that ball down, restricting the batsman to just 2 runs. That's terrific fielding by
The time, no footwork, but good balance from Sachin Tendulkar. He's got his timing right. Good support work. They're chasing everything, the Sri Lankans.
Kulashekara, an experienced one-day bowler. It seems like Kumar Sangakkara will be coming up to the stumps. He's got his helmet on.
Batsmen do tend to walk down the wicket at Kulasekara once they get the measure of him. So Sangakkara reacting early.
Running has been good so far from Gautam Gambhir especially. Every time he's mistimed the ball, he's looked for a single.
Yeah, now if you can do that and the scoreboard keeps rotating, you're rotating the strike, and that will mean you don't have to take that undue risk to keep in touch with the required run rate.
Yes, I think at the start of your innings, you want to get set. You don't want to be looking to play too many shots too soon. And if you can rotate the strike with the singles, you're maintaining the asking rate, keeping the asking rate in sight. What a shot! Once again, the punch off the back foot. He's waiting for the ball, not committing himself too much off the front foot.
Now watch his hands in this one. Again, just a short stride. He's balanced. And look at him just open the face of the bat to pick that gap. Not looking to hit it too hard. Just wants the gap.
Always like that view. Watching Tendulkar bat, that view from point tells you about his balance when he's playing his shots.
It's also an indication that this wicket is true.
As long as the ball is hard and new, it will seem true. Gets older, might be a little difficult, but if the due factor comes in. Oh, that was glorious. The broad bat of Sachin Tendulkar in the straight drive.
I don't think there's anybody who plays that shot better than Sachin Tendulkar. Full face of the bat, not even trying to hit it hard, just looking to time it. Look at that, just timing it. No follow through of the bat, but he knows that he's got it in the middle and it's going to go for a boundary.
Look how still that head is. Sachin Tendulkar. He's done well on this ground.
Oh, that would have been another boundary. Great stop at point. No wonder the bowler is delighted. Kapugedra there at point.
They're again opening the face of the bat. The Sri Lankans will battle. They got the runs on the board and they got a formidable score, 274. But they're going to need a lot of that because this Indian batting lineup is strong. So we've got a battle that we can watch, and it's turning out to be a great evening here at the Wankhede.
Splendid shot. No chance for Muthaiya Muralidharan. He watches the ball go by. The master is looking in good touch here.
And he's aware of the fact that if he's got to capitalise, it's got to be on the weaker of the Sri Lankan bowlers. And certainly Kulasekara is the one who is more likely to give you these kind of loose deliveries.
The first real loose delivery. Until then, it's been good shots. Tendulkar's created it. Now he's put the bowler under pressure.
As many as 3 men now in that point region to stop that shot. Well played. 11 runs from that over. It's 26 for 1.
Sri Lanka need to hang in there. Just keep going through the processes. Keep believing. There's a long way to go. And each time, each good over, a maiden over, or even an over for 1 or 2, will in turn put the pressure on the Indians. It's a pressure game. 5.41 runs required at this stage.
Required rate 5.41, original rate 5.50. Very much with pace, with what's needed. Lasith Malinga, his 3rd over. He's picked up the wicket of Virendra Sehwag. Gautam Gambhir on strike.
He's getting an extra over. Generally, Malinga's just bowled the 2 overs up front, maybe even the 1 at certain times. Sangakkara knows the importance.
Yeah, this is something that's very unique when you see these are the balls in which a batsman has been dismissed. Let's have a look at the direction. This is Gautam Gambhir's dismissal against seam. 3 balls down the leg side. You can understand the one that's on top, right at the top. That's a good delivery. Seems like a good line. But look at the 3 which are down the leg side.
And now it makes sense why Sangakkara did start with the extra field on the leg side. The leg slip initially and then a fielder just behind the crease. But now he's opted to go to a regulation field. It's got the slip in place, the catcher at short extra cover. Just bowl in the corridor. That's just outside the off stump because Gambhir's got away. He's flicked it, he's handled it well.
Lots of chanting going on at the Wankhede Stadium. At the moment the pitch is really playing well for these 2 batsmen.
Sri Lanka had got off to a pretty slow start, so India won't be too worried. They know that Malinga is the danger man before Murali comes in, so they'll try and see him off. He's in his 3rd over, and Sangakkara has used him in bursts of 4, 3 and 3. So they know that probably another over from him before he's given a breather.
Nice shot.
Yes, from a Sri Lankan point of view, they like to get through to that 10th over, to the 15th over. They're more comfortable when they're able to put the fielders down and use those slower bowlers. So wicket or two, and keeping the scoring to about around the 5-run mark, they'll settle for.
That's one of the variations of Malinga. Yorker, but with a different trajectory. Got a bag of tricks, Lasith Malinga. It's not just about pace. Tendulkar got 85 against Pakistan, was adjudged the man of the match. And it seemed like Pakistanis were also fans of Tendulkar batting. Got a few reprieves. But in the end, just collected enough runs to matter for India. Pitch really changed, its nature became slow and turning, and in the end 260 was more than enough for India. Just the 1 run so far from this over. First fall shot there. 5 overs gone. It's 27 for 1.
Malinga able to pull it back, and now he's resorting to his variations. A couple of slow balls in that over, and it did look like it did grip. The Sri Lankans will use more of that going forward.
We come back with the answer really soon. Bowling change from Northland.
Sri Lanka made only 9 runs in those first 5 overs, and 3 of those were bowled by Zahir Khan, whose first 3 overs in fact were maiden overs.
Tisara Pereira is the all-rounder in the Sri Lankan team. It's Keith Stackpole, former Australian top-order batsman. Good start, good line from Tisara Pereira. And that's one striking difference that you'll find between, say, the Indian, the Pakistanis and the Sri Lankans. The athleticism in the field.
Yes, I think that was a very good stop by the fielder. 2 dot balls now for Gautam Gambhir. The asking rate has increased just a little bit.
Sri Lanka going back to basics. Just a slip, blocking up one side of the field. Just build up dots. They're not looking for wickets now. They're trying to build some pressure and ask the batsman in turn to make a mistake.
Yes, Kulasekara replaced by Pereira. Pereira is bowling a much better line.
And if you go back to the afternoon session, this is exactly what India did to the Sri Lankans. They had the field set right round and plenty of shots to the fielders.
Tendulkar just passing on some words of advice to Gautam Gambhir. Could be in that regard. He's played a lot of shots straight to the fielders. He's just asking him to maybe just dab the ball down and run a single, or use the pace of the bowler. He's gone for it. He's going to pick up a boundary. But how close was that to point?
Well, it was the first 4 dot balls that made him take a little bit of a chance with that wideish delivery. Wasn't quite to the pitch of it, but he saw it was wide, went for it, and lucky for him, it didn't go to hand.
He did come at that one, but was hit too hard.
Oh, that's a much better shot. And again, straight to the fielder. 6 overs gone. It's 31 for 1.
Yeah, the required rate, the original required rate was 5.5 runs an over. And they just quietly, Sri Lanka will try and focus on pushing that rate above 6 initially. So that means every dot ball will play a part, a big part towards that required rate. That's how Sri Lanka play that game.
Great atmosphere here at the Wankhede Stadium. India in a run chase. In the big finals. 244 more needed. Lasith Malinga in his 4th over. Outside edge and taken. Good low catch by Kumar Sangakkara, and just watch out for the celebration. Lasith Malinga is unstoppable.
Well, Tendulkar had been pushing at deliveries outside the off stump, trying to get the ball away. But that was one that moved away from him as well. Look at that. Moving just a little bit away. Thick edge. Good catch. Low down by the Sri Lankan captain. Lasith Malinga has taken his Mumbai Indians skipper and struck a big blow for the Sri Lankans. Tendulkar out for 18. 31 for 2.
Going to take a while for the Mumbai crowd to recover as we see Virat Kohli come in at number 4. Sachin Tendulkar has just been dismissed on 18 of 14 balls. He looked in good touch. Before that man, Lasith Malinga, struck again. What an opening spell this has been. 2 wickets in his 3.1 overs. 2 wickets, that of Sehwag and Tendulkar.
The first ball that I think really moved. Just seeing the ball skid through. And that's what prompted Tendulkar to keep going at the ball.
With a quick bouncer, just thudding into the wicketkeeper's gloves. Good pace on that one.
Yeah, this is Tendulkar's wicket. You can see the slight movement. That was enough because he was trusting the pitch and playing through the line.
Was that too much movement? But you're right, I think he trusted the pitch, and maybe the angle at which he bowls round arm is carried on, and that is the reaction that you get to see when every time, in fact, when he gets out. Bitter disappointment. It's looking really good.
So Malinga charging in. And Sangakkara giving him the extra overs. That has really proved vital.
Yes, I think that's partly because they've lost Matthews. Matthews used to bowl very well at the other end. But without Matthews, Kulasekara has been taken for a few runs. Pereira, I'm not too sure how much Kumar Sangakkara has confidence in him. So giving Malinga another over, hoping that he'll break through, get a wicket. And he's got 2 wickets. He's got 2 big wickets. Sehwag and Tendulkar.
And also the Sri Lankans generally play that choking game, they strangle opponents. But they also know they can't do that to India. It's with the spin that they do it. Indians play spin well. So they also need to look at picking up wickets.
Yes, because India's got a pretty deep batting lineup, so they know that they have the capability of upping the scoring rate. Also because India play very well. Look at that, just pushing at that delivery outside the off stump. It really was a nothing shot, wasn't it?
Oh, that's not a good shot at all. So Lasith Malinga creating all kinds of problems here.
The Indian batsmen need to focus on what they need to do. Lots of things happening around the World Cup final. They've lost Sachin Tendulkar just now. And those will all play a part on this young man's mind. And thus with the others too.
Yes, I think too soon to be looking to run the ball down to third man. He's got to try and get the ball in the middle of the bat. A little bit of silence there. Rajnikant, one of India's greatest actors.
It seems like if India has to win this World Cup, it will have to be the generation next that will have to do it with the bat. Sehwag, Tendulkar gone. There's Virat Kohli, Gautam Gambhir, Yuvraj Singh, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Suresh Raina, the young guns. They'll have to step up today.
For a moment I thought, because I said Rajnikant, you were going to say that if India need to win, you need to bring Rajnikant in.
Well, there was one tweet that I read, if Rajnikant is at the ground, India cannot lose. Also got Rahul Gandhi once again sitting in the stands with the fans. Wicket made an over. 7 overs gone. It's 32 for 2.
Time to answer the Reliance PG cricket facts question. Including this tournament, who has been captain in most World Cup finals was the question.
In fact, there was a wide ball in that over, so no run off the bat. And a wicket of Tendulkar in that over from Lasith Malinga. You've got to use him also very careful, Lasith Malinga, because he can be so good with the old ball. So India will have to do the hard grind now. They'll have to protect wickets. Lost Sehwag and Tendulkar. It's Kulashekara who's back in the attack, and in the commentary box we've got Saurav Ganguly, Tom Moody and David Lloyd.
Thanks, Sanjay. We're seeing something special from Sri Lanka. It needs something special from India. Ella Jayawardene with a splendid century, and it needs something similar from India. Reeling, 32 for 2. Settle for one into mid-wicket. 8th over then. Kulashekara starts his 3rd, none for 17.
Yeah, desperation in the field by the Sri Lankans. They are renowned for being a good fielding unit. It's only been strengthened today by the inclusion of Chamara Kapilgudera, who's an outstanding fielder. He, unfortunately for him, he missed out with a bat, but he can certainly make up some ground in the field. So Suraj Randiv there, he'll be playing an important role. There's Chamara Kapilgudera, so you can guarantee in a key position behind point.
The running between the wickets of these two will be under the scanner. They play for the same state. They've got into trouble a few times. There you see a yes and a no already. They'll have to watch out for it.
Well, it's interesting. Running between the wickets is about trust, isn't it? Saurav, you need to trust your partner's judgment, and you need to be 100% committed to the run.
It's also about knowing your partner. you may not have the quickest of the guys you're batting with. So at times you have to adjust according to him. You may be the quickest fastest runner between the wickets in the world, and if you keep taking off, somebody will be in trouble at some stage.
Confidence and telepathy, knowing when to run and when not to run. You can just look in each other's eyes and go. But it's 33 for 2, India. 2 openers back in the shed. Just gentle pace is this, Kulaseka. He's not express. The express man is at the other end.
It's interesting. I think Kulaseka has also summed up this wicket. I don't think you need to bowl quickly on this wicket. He can be a lively pace, a nippy type bowler, and he's had a lot of success for Sri Lanka, particularly in the one-day format. And I think he's probably read this wicket pretty well. He knows he's got to bowl very straight, stump to stump, and it's not all about pace, it's more about control.
Just a single from the over. It's 33 for 2. So, what about this pitch then? We've seen a little bit of spin. Is it going to deteriorate?
It looks a very good surface. I went in at the break and there was not a scratch mark on it. It's not crumbled. There's not many spike marks. It's still hard and good. It will be a good batting surface. But the key will not be the pitch. It will be how India handle the chase. They've lost the 2 big guns, Tendulkar and Sehwag. Tendulkar, more importantly, big game, big player. Sehwag has struggled in the World Cup after his first knock against Bangladesh. Tendulkar's wicket, they have the batting to do it. But will they be able to handle the pressure? 2 spinners, Murali and Randeep. That's going to be the key.
Change of ball in again. Malinga out of the attack. 4 excellent overs. Pereira comes into the attack. So change of ends for Pereira. We talk about India and this fabulous batting lineup when you lose the first 2, and just let's remind ourselves who they are. Sehwag, Tendulkar. I just wonder if there's any sort of panic that goes through the team. Okay, these big guns have gone. How does it affect the rest?
It's a really interesting point, because I remember my first time when I took over the coaching role in Sri Lanka, 2005. A very similar issue happened when Jayasuriya went early. So if Sanat Jayasuriya went early, and we all know how devastating player he could be in his time, he could tear any attack apart, and he did it regularly. If he went early, it would send shudders through the dressing room. A real fear of how are we going to chase down this total. So, if you've got 2 players of the calibre of Tendulkar and Sehwag, you can guarantee the dressing room will be feeling the pinch.
I'm a little disappointed with Sehwag in one-day cricket. He's got enormous ability, there's no doubt about it, but just doesn't fire enough.
Backward of point, and it'll just be 2. He threatened to stay at 1, but it's an easy 2.
Coming to Sehwag, we heard before the start of the tournament, he said, I want to bat 50 overs. And when he batted at the game against Bangladesh, it looked like he's changed his mindset, because there's no doubt about his ability. But just having a look in the last 4 or 5 knocks under pressure, he's probably gone back to his old ways in one-day cricket. And if he has to be successful, even half as successful as he is in Test cricket, he'll probably have to change his way.
Well, it certainly means that these 2 lads, Gambhir, who's a wonderful player, opening batsman in Test match cricket, but the youngster will be interesting. Kohli comes with great raps. I'm sure that everybody in India thinks a lot about him, but it needs something special here.
They've done it before. These 2 partnership against the same Sri Lankan team without Muralidharan. In Calcutta, they chased 300, they were 30 for 2. But it's a different situation, a different game. And for them, it will be important to shut the result out of their head. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but you have to do that if you have to take the pressure out of the game.
And Murali, 80% fit. Do you think he's a massive influence on this game?
Absolutely. And looking at the way he chased when Tendulkar hit a ball down to 3rd man, he looks okay. to me, and he was keen. I saw him in the morning, just before the toss. He was bowling. In the middle overs, he was bowling. It's his last one-day game, and he will be wanting to finish it with a high. And they have a great opportunity here.
Down the pitch and no run into the offside. It's 35 for 2. Well, lots of smiles out there. Sri Lanka got runs on the board. There's a lot of old-fashioned coaches and managers would say get runs on the board and then defend it. They've got plenty here, 274 for 6. So things at this stage are going fine for Sri Lanka. Long way to go.
Just looking at the way the day started with the toss. The day started with the toss happening twice, Sri Lanka winning it second time. You just get a feeling, is there something else to the game? Is there something else to it? Will destiny be an important factor in this run chase? We'll wait and see.
We talked earlier in the first innings about the role of captaincy, and again we can check on it now with Sangakkara having got the runs on the board. He knows that he's got an ace in Murali. He's got a couple of other spinners as well. Boundary here.
Virat Kohli showing his class. What a wonderful shot. Nuwan Kulasekara just drifting into middle and leg. And Kohli having the timing, the placement to dispatch it behind square. Playing that shot, it's all about playing it right underneath your nose, not pushing out too far in front of yourself. And he waited and his timing was perfect.
Field change. Deep square leg now, and fine leg comes into a leg slip catching position. 2 catches now, a leg side, short mid wicket and leg slip. That's good play. There should be a couple. Kulasekara doing exactly the same as Sri Sant for India, leaking runs with a new ball.
Kulasekara just needs to concentrate on bowling as straight as possible. Kumar Sangakkara has given him a field that suggests that he's asking his bowler to bowl straight. There's a catching straight mid-wicket, there's a straight mid-on, there's a straightish mid-off, the catching extra cover, and the cover fieldsman is also relatively straight.
It's very gentle pace, is this? 125 Ks. Wicket-keeper is stood back. I think this field is just dragging him to the leg side with the 2 catches at fine leg and short mid-wicket. It's just dragging him really straight.
David, as a coach, you have been a coach of the England cricket team for a long time successfully. What do you say to these boys in the middle when they're having a run chase on an important game? They lost 2 wickets. What's the message from the coach to the boys?
It's responsibility all the way through, that you've got a couple of reversals, character comes into it, and at this level you expect them all. If the top class batsmen accept responsibility, it's down to you. 6 from the over, it's 41 for 2. There's all sorts of things that you talk about, and certainly to enjoy the challenge. When I was doing a job, I never ever talked about pressure. Never. Challenge all the time. You've got great challenges. Don't talk to me about pressure. You're under pressure. You're not. It's what you do for a living. Power plays. India's power plays got off to a flyer against Bangladesh. Look at that. South Africa 87. Netherlands 82 for 3. Pakistan 73 for 1. Telling. bowling power play taken straight away. So 41 for 2 in the mandatory power play of 10 overs. Chipped. Intelligent play. Little skip down the pitch, hits it for 4.
That will take the pressure off him a bit. 15 of 29 deliveries before that. That's a good shot over mid-wicket.
I think the advantage of a batsman getting a 4 off the first ball of an over really sets up the over. He's used his feet very well there. He's moved across off stump. The line from Pereira was fine. It was sort of through that just outside off stump line. So there's nothing wrong with his line, but very clever batsmanship. And that sets up the over. Now he can now work the ball into the gaps and get the ones. And without any risk at all, they can easily get 10 off this over.
Clipped away, vacant area. Always looking to score boundaries early in any over, and then you just tick along. Of course, you might get a wide ball and something that you can knock away. So, Sangakkara just checking with the bowler.
Very famous personality, Rahul Gandhi, the son of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, the great Rajiv Gandhi. A very familiar face in Indian politics.
So everybody's in today. You're telling me all about the actors and actresses that are in, now the politicians.
Everybody's in the stadium for the last 2 weeks, probably the last 1 week. We should have been watching the India-Pakistan game. Everyone, from actors, from politicians, from diplomats, and they were by numbers up at Mohali. And it's been the same today, and they love their cricket. It's a huge, huge sport in the country. It's a big day for all of them. A World Cup final in India, and India in a World Cup final, so they've all come to support the team.
So 41 for 2 in the first 10 over power play, 5 fours. Quite difficult, the excellence of Malinga trapping Sehwag LBW early in the piece. Sachin promised, and then Nick 1. 2 for him, he's off on 1. Great celebrations.
So it's 4 scored all around the ground, but from India's perspective, they need plenty more.
We just had a trip round Mumbai there, didn't we, to get to the ground?
It takes a bit longer than that, though, doesn't it?
False start.
Yeah, the taxi driver doesn't take that long. You tend to get stuck in a bit more traffic than that.
Now flying out this evening, early hours, 2:30.
Hope your bags are packed and you should be leaving from the ground straight away.
That's exactly what's happening, Saurav. We've got a grand plan. Quick single, good running. Might be 2. It is 2. 50 on the board in the 11th over, 50 for 2.
Well, that was Murali at mid-on. It's certainly testing him in the field, and why wouldn't they? Taking another cheeky single, Kohli. So good placement, recognising who's there. Got to be very careful with that groin. To come into the game under a bit of an injury cloud.
count all these mistakes up, misfields, they all add up. Need another 225 from 234 deliveries, India. The required rate is now 5.77 runs per over.
It's the wickets for Sri Lanka. Now, if they keep picking wickets at regular intervals, they'll always stay in the hunt. They know the pressure's on India. They have to get the runs. They've got the runs on board. It's a home crowd cheering for the team, around 40,000 in. They all want to see India win.
Well, there's no fear for them at this stage. Once Malinga's gone out of the attack, it's pretty ordinary. The two bowlers operating now, Kulasekara none for 24 in 4 overs, Pereira none for 15 in 3.
Yeah, interesting. I felt that probably it was time to change the pace of the bowling, get one of the spinners on, whether it was Murali or Randiv or even Dilshan for an over or two. Just have a taste of a spinner, see what it's doing, challenge the batsman to a different pace. Both bowlers are very similar at the moment.
Well, against Gambia, left-handed batsman, and he's a wonderful player of spin, but he walked past one against Pakistan, came down the pitch, beaten on the outside edge.
I think the other thing it does is that it prevents the batsman getting in too quickly. If you're facing similar bowlers from both ends, you can find yourself getting in and feeling comfortable at the crease a lot quicker. But if you're changing the bowling, which Kumar Sangakkara, to be fair, has done all World Cup, it's been one of the keys to his captaincy, is that he's changed his bowlers over quite regularly. Just makes it a lot harder for a batsman to settle in.
Gambia now back in the crease. Sangakkara up to the stumps. I think Dhoni's been really flexible throughout the tournament, but today his go-to bowler was Srisant, who hasn't played for 42 deliveries. He kept going back to him. I just wonder whether that's a little bit of stubbornness, that he wanted him in the team and kept going back to him.
Yes, we were surprised with Ashwin not playing the other day in Mohali. That's a good shot over extra cover. Gets his 4,000 one-day runs with the shot, Gautam Gambhir. The 11th Indian to get past that number. It's a very good shot over extra cover. Making room and allowing the arms to get free.
On both occasions when Gambia's found the boundary, he's used the crease, used his feet and freed his arms up. One on the offside, one on the leg.
And he's working the spaces. 28 from 36 deliveries with 4 fours. Tends to get his boundary 4 and then a single straight away. So good effort, average of 40. Look at that strike rate, 86.5, a best of 150. Some player who's his best against.
Well, the key there is the 900s. He needs to convert that to 10 tonight if India are going to go close. Certainly one of these two need to get 3 figures.
Gone for 4. 11 off the over. Good over for India. 61 for 2. Kulasekara now 5 overs, none for 34. Will need to come out of the attack, change the pace of the ball, get some spinners on, I would say. Bad delivery at this pace, poor delivery. Gosh, that's only 120 Ks.
It just goes to show the importance of Murali and Malinga in this attack. Malinga struck early, 2 big wickets. The others need to follow on. Pereira to continue. Hopefully we'll see some spin very shortly. The key to this game will how India play those two spinners, Randeep and Muralidharan. Three left-handers, Yuvraj Singh in next, Suresh Raina at number 7. It's important how they bat against those two.
Need some support from the seamers from Malinga. You certainly get it from Muralidharan, and I think he will come on very, very quickly. Probably after this over, he's just done some looseness. The other seamers need to support Malinga. Pereira starts his 4th over. As he tickled it down the leg side, no he hasn't, it's a wide. Usually get that appeal, maybe to fool the umpire. Hello. A masquerade.
Kumar Sangakkara going up for the appeal, the one going down leg side. Did it clip the glove? Did it clip the thigh pad, or did it miss completely? The umpire obviously felt it missed everything.
Well, there was an appeal, very quickly given wide by the umpire.
Here's that delivery. It's well wide of the bat, the hip. But to be fair, it wasn't that far down leg side. So a tight call. Obviously felt that it was wide enough to be called.
And now it's Sangakkara who's having to work. He did have a slip in. He decided he doesn't want slips. In fact, he doesn't want catches. Wide again. I'm just losing it here.
Mahela Jayawardene going up to Pereira, just giving him a calming word. A man that's got a lot of experience will be passing on just a calming word to him. Just take a deep breath, take your time. It's probably his last over of this spell before we see spin come on from that end.
It's good play. Soft hands. Well, they've got a partnership going, haven't they? It's 34 from 37 deliveries. There's Pereira's one-day international career.
He's got a very good record against India. 5 for 28 is against India. His 2 5-wicket hauls. And he's done well in limited overs cricket.
Lots of action, stumps out of the ground.
It's good aggressive fielding, and that's what both teams are playing for. That special cup, the World Cup, one of the captains is going to be holding that aloft at the end of this match, and will be very proud and have a very proud team and nation around him.
Open face just for a single. I wonder if any of the players are superstitious about the cup and who's going to get their hands on it. And it's been around for quite some time. It's been at the ground, as we can see. I wonder how many players have gone up and touched it.
I don't think they'll be allowed to. Looks like it's been nicely polished for the night. The first person to touch it will be the winning captain.
I'd be unbelievably superstitious. I wouldn't go anywhere near it. I wouldn't look at it. field. Come back for two. Crowd comes alive again. There was a very, very quiet period when both openers had gone, but things have steadied down for India.
I can't help but feel that we definitely need a change of pace out there. It's becoming very predictable. Both Pereira and Kulaseka are very similar bowlers. And Matai Muralidharan will be itching to get that ball in his hand. Suraj Randiv, who's playing his first game, also will be keen to get a bowl.
Flash and a miss, ends the 13th over. It's 68 for 2. So the original rate was 5.5 runs required per over. It's now 5.59, so things have been steadied down by India. 2 wickets down. We've got a game on here. No Murali as yet.
In a World Cup final innings. And who are they? Think about it while we come back with the answer in just a couple of overs.
Well, this game is setting up very, very nicely. India 68 for 2 after 13 overs. Describe the next half hour or so. Russell Arnold, Sunil Gavaskar and Ravi Shastri.
Thank you, David Lloyd. Suraj Randiv now into the attack, and this is a crucial phase of the game. Spin being introduced for the first time. 2 quality spinners in this Sri Lankan lineup. And this might well be the key to the game. 20 good overs could put India under pressure. But if the Indian batsmen manage to keep the spinners at bay, then you could have a real contest on your hands.
Well, this man has done well against the Indians. 12 wickets he's picked up. He goes over the top.
And you can see the confidence his captain has in him. He's brought him on in bowling power play, just 3 men outside the ring, and he's got a slip in place.
He gets a lot of bounce, and this wicket will aid that. Wankhede generally do get a little bit more, and he bowls the ball that goes the other way, which we've seen the Indian batsmen struggle to pick.
Inside out, long off coming underneath it, and it goes to ground. Kulaseka was the man diving forward, never easy. And you can see even the bowler clapping there because it was attacking fielding. Just got the feeling he picked it late, Sonny.
Yes, I think so. I think he probably didn't pick it up from the background. The crowd looked to me as if he started late. He thought maybe the ball was going away from him. Started very late.
He had plenty of time to get underneath that one, but slowed down just a wee bit. The bounce straight away worrying Gautam Gambhir. He defended too, but knew he cannot let Suraj Randiv settle in. That's the catch again. He wanted to hit it between long off and extra cover, but couldn't get there. Kulaseka, slight misjudgment.
Well, he generally plays that shot very well. Inside out with the turn between long off and extra cover. I don't think he got close enough to the ball. The ball probably came into him as well. Didn't turn, and that's why he hit it a little wide of that fielder at long off.
Yes, he did give himself room. He went outside leg stump, but just didn't get enough room to free his arms.
Four of the over, 72 for 2.
First over of spin introduced. We are in the bowling power play too, and that's of Suraj Randiv. Straight away creating a chance. Unfortunately, Sri Lanka not capitalizing. India slightly ahead, but when you're chasing, you do need to be ahead.
Good to Sarah Pereira, continuing.
Yes, Sri Lanka do need to get through some of these overs because he like to keep Murali later. And Roshan Mahanama and Upul Chandan in the stands today. World Cup winners of 1996. Roshan Mahanama now a match referee. Well, he's got a day off today.
And both of them were terrific fielders.
Yes, Upul Chandan now a fielding coach with Sri Lanka cricket.
It's a good call. Well, these two now, their job will be to get India to about 100 first. Set yourselves small targets at a time. If you go at about the run rate you're going at, you should be there by the 20th over, or just before, and then take it from there.
Yes, getting close is the initial target. And of course, when you look at it, the due comes into play maybe 30th, 35th over. If you have wickets in hand, even a required rate of 7-8 is easily achievable.
Yes, looking at the Indian batting lineup, which is right down to number 7, I don't think the asking rate should be too much of a problem, as long as they have wickets in hand in the last 10 overs.
Sri Lanka well aware of that, because generally they do look to choke teams, but here Indians play the spin well. Those are the highest successful run chases against Sri Lanka by all teams though, but India doing it best against the Sri Lankans.
Yes, they've also got a 281 for 4 in Delhi. And they need to score 6 runs less than that. There it is again. The worthless throwing. No need. So many runs unnecessarily given away. The batsman wasn't taking a single, but just trying to throw the ball. It's happened time and again in this World Cup.
You need to control your nerves, not be too eager. It's always good to keep looking for those opportunities.
It's well struck. There is a man at deep point. For a situation like this, India have got a good combination out there. Ideal players, right hand, left hand batting combination. Both are good at working the ball into the gaps. They run well between the wickets. They play for the same state. So the understanding is good.
And they've had some very good partnerships as well in the season. Very good partnerships against New Zealand. Both of them are getting big runs, so they understand each other very well.
That's flicked away for 4. Just drifting on the leg stump, and nicely placed there by Gautam Gambhir. Brings up a 50-run partnership. It's 81 for 2 and drinks being called for. So Virendra Sehwag missing out today. Lasith Malinga getting through his defence. Catching him plumb in front of his stumps. And it's the first time he's got a duck in a long time, in 4.5 years. Here's Randeep. The thing with the Sri Lankan spinners is what they do well is they bowl dot balls. might concede the occasional boundary. And they're good at bowling dot balls, and that's what the Indians have to be aware of, and work them around. Don't allow them to settle down, pick up the singles.
Yes, and I'm sure Muralidharan will come from the other end. So it's a vital time of the game, because this is Kumar Sangakkara's option. This is what he relies on.
He's got to slip in position, hoping that the ball might turn and go to that slip fielder when the left-hander is batting, and maybe hold its line when the right-hander is batting. Looking to get wickets, Sangakkara. He knows that's one sure way of putting pressure on India. But India is in no hurry. They know that it's consolidation time. They've lost two of their best players, Tendulkar and Sehwag, very early. It's given the young guns, Gautam Gambhir and Virat Kohli, the opportunity to play themselves in a little bit. It's a very good partnership so far, 52 of 56 balls.
Nicely placed, played it late. Should get a couple of runs. That's what you ideally want now, is with starts for both these players, 41-20. You want one of them to kick on and do what Jayawardene did for Sri Lanka. If that happens, then India are very much in the hunt. There's still a long way to go in this game.
190 required of 206 balls, and it's all about a wicket. Well, Simon Toffel having to walk all the way across to have a word to Kumar Sangakkara and Virat Kohli. There's a few words being said there, so Toffel calming everyone down.
He's got a good action. Suraj Randev, he gives the ball air. He's bowling at the right pace for the surface, and you can see, being a tall man, he's getting bounced. Yeah, 5 of the over, 86 for 2.
It's not going to be too long before we see spin from both ends.
Taken 5 wickets in the World Cup final innings, and who are they? The answer is 2.
So 86 for 2, 16 overs have been bowled. There's some spin there as well. It's beaten Sangakkara. Now these are good options that Sri Lanka have.
Starts with a wide Dilshan. This is more to do with the fact that Kumar Sangakkara wants to hold Muralidharan to the business end of the game. Get through a few overs, see what's happening out there, and he knows he's going to need his trump.
Yes, that's right, but he needs to bring his best bowler to try and break the partnership. Otherwise, keeping Muralidharan might be just a little bit too late. At the moment, he needs a breakthrough. He needs to put pressure on India. India now coasting. 89 for 2, they're coasting.
Dead right, absolutely right, Sunny. Don't want the game to drift. India will be quite happy if you try these tactics at the moment.
See, both Randev and Dilshan are not making the Indian batsmen think. They're bowling what is conventional off-spin. Muralidharan's got a different off-spin, and I think he'll make the batsman think. That's why it's important that Muralidharan is brought on. He can always be held back a little bit later if he bowls 2 or 3 good overs, pegs the Indians back, and then he can be kept back for the later overs. But not bringing him on once the power plays are over, I'm not too sure that's the right move by Sangakkara.
That's right, but Kumar Sangakkara, I've seen him do that time and time again. That's his comfort zone. Holding Lasith Malinga back, holding Muralidharan back, and if Dilshan picks up a wicket now and again, that's a big bonus. And throughout with the other opposition, he has done that.
See, at the moment you can see the Indian game plan. Let's not take risks, knock the ball around, we will get the occasional boundary. The mindset is such at the moment, and they're doing it well. They should get to this 100, say in another over and a half's time. So that's before 20 overs, they'll be quite happy with that.
And rightly so, get closer to the target, and the Sri Lankans' eyes will also be on that target, and the closer it gets, they'll start feeling the pressure more and more. It's just that Sangakkara has to make sure that Muralidharan will have lots of runs to play around with.
It's got to be careful there. That's a wrong choice of shot. The odd ball is keeping low. It was a delivery of fuller length. Much better player Virat Kohli when he's knocking it down the ground. Five of the over, 91 for 2.
Well, this is the last 5 overs, the second power play, the bowling power play, and look at Gautam Gambhir moving around the crease and creating shots. That was, of course, a chance which should have been taken. He was on 30 then, now he's on 42. Six fielders on the offside, the slip, the 2 points, then there's that extra cover. And look at the deep extra, he's much straighter for Gautam Gambhir and the long off. That's because he likes to go inside out.
That's a good strike. Picked his spot nicely. No one deep on the onside. There's one bounce over the rope. Calculated risk, but well executed.
Very good thinking that by Gautam Gambhir. He saw that there was no protection for Randeep on the onside, and he's played that shot well. Big stride down so that he's able to get close to the ball and then sweep it from around the off stump.
Yeah, he's playing it smart. You need to play these shots.
That's good cricket. There's no one at mid-wicket, so just knocking it there, picking up the single. Gets away from the strike after striking that boundary. Key player here, left-hander, good player of spin.
I think at some stage he'll have to think in terms of taking that slip out and keeping it at mid-wicket and give protection to Randeep at deep mid-wicket or square leg.
Well, what he's done now, he has pushed a short mid-wicket to deep mid-wicket, so there's always going to be a single. But hopefully Randeep can turn that ball. Then that will be a risk for Gautam Gambhir, but if he doesn't turn, a single all the while. A boundary early in the over, always useful. Batsmen always look for that.
Looked as if there was a little bit of bat on that pad, and then just lobbing up.
Yeah, tough for the wicket keeper who was going the other way. Definite inside edge. Too late when Sangakkara reacted.
Can't get it away. 5 of the over. 96 for 2.
Well, India's asking rate when they started the chase was 5.5. The current rate is 5.3. So they've kept the asking rate in sight. They've got 8 wickets in hand. So they're going about it well.
3, 2, 1, go!
1 So there you go. Sangakkara wasting no time. Just one over of Dilshan, and then he realized that he's got to get his premier bowler into the attack. Champion playing his last game. And what a record in both forms of the game. Over 1,300 international wickets. Here he goes for his first ball in this year's World Cup final.
They forced Kumar Sangakkara to do this. Sangakkara was wanting to get through another couple of overs, so that's real good batting. You've got to always ask questions from the opposition.
Two is the call. Gambhir has to hurry. That would have been touch and go had Sangakkara taken off the bails in the first attempt.
Well, the throw wasn't quite good, was it? It was accurate, but it should have been, if it was going to be one bounce, it should have been a little shorter. It's an awkward take for Sangakkara. He could have been in trouble, Gautam Gambhir.
He was way short, and it's quite hard there. It's the square. You get more pitches there, and he just skids through. Ideally, Sangakkara needed a little bit more room to collect that ball.
Yes, it was on the bounce, a little too close to him.
Well, they've really taken the extra run very smartly, both these batsmen. This one was a little bit of a risk, but they've really run very well between the wickets, these two.
Not India's strength, but that's what they've been doing well, even throughout the tournament. I thought their power pack batting has kind of let them down, but they fielded and bowled much better than we expected, and that's what's kept them in here.
50 for Gautam Gambhir, and it's a very well-paced innings this under pressure. India lost a couple of early wickets. They were 31 for 2 at one stage. But this is a very fine innings so far. You know that there's a long way to go. It's only a half a job done.
Especially after the 2 wickets that fell. Gautam Gambhir needed to buckle down. And what I really liked was the calculated risks that he took to put pressure on the bowlers and push them back.
So you can see that last ball, that was a top spinner. Virat Kohli just demonstrating how that came out of his hand. Now this is where Murli is different. He'll keep the batsman guessing. He'll make them watch that hand of his closely. Doesn't get it away. The opportunity was there. 99 for 2.
Yes, I think Virat Kohli will be upset with himself not having put that ball away. Get it straight to that fielder at mid-wicket. But it's a good partnership, solid partnership. They haven't taken any risks, but they've kept the scoreboard ticking quite smartly, quite nicely.
So 99 for 2. Still to come, you have Dhoni, you have Yuvraj, Raina as well, but here's Randeep. Oh! Again, bounce and turn. He's got a nice high arm action. He comes nicely on top of his that front foot of his. That's more revolutions in the ball. And in the commentary box now, Saurav Ganguly, Tom Moody and Nasser Hussain.
Thanks, Ravi. Yeah, very impressed with Randeep as the 100 comes up for India. It's some nice flight and dip and bounce. It's a good recovery, though, from India, having been 31 for 2.
These two have put on 69 in 80 deliveries.
You can't help but feel that this is a key moment in the game. Sri Lanka's two spinners in Matai Muralidharan and Suraj Randive in the attack, trying to put the squeeze on.
Tucked away fine, should be two, comfortably, could be more. It is more, 4 more.
Malinga down there at deep backward square, running around to try to retrieve the ball. Lovely touch by Kohli, but Malinga diving straight over the top of that. Be disappointed with that. Just releases the pressure.
Dot to end the over, 6 from it, 105 for 2. At this stage, Sri Lanka were 83 for 2, so India way ahead, but Sri Lanka finished really well. 63 off that last 5 overs, which were power play overs. Still very tense around the ground. After 7 weeks of cricket, we still don't know who's going to be World Cup winners 2011. Could go either way this game. These two young Indians building a partnership. Going pretty well.
And they've really played well under pressure. Gautam Gambhir, 51 of 60, and Kohli 30 of 45. They've been in good partnerships before for India, especially against Sri Lanka in the finals. And they've looked at ease so far.
Yeah, but where India will have to be careful is Sri Lanka got 91 from the last 10 overs. I don't think you can do that against Sri Lanka. I think in the last 2 games, quarter-final, England got something like 56 and lost 7 wickets. New Zealand got 51 and lost 6 wickets in the last 10. I know this is a better batting lineup with Malinga and Murali bowling at the death. I don't think you're going to get as many as some other sides, so India will have to stay ahead of the rate, stay ahead of that graph. Comfortable single. Sri Lanka have hit the stumps well, but the running's been good.
They've been brilliant on the field, Sri Lanka. And the Indians have really done well, recovered well. 31 for today, you see, playing it with ease. And very good running.
India certainly doing the right thing by rotating the strike, just picking up the ones. That's what they need to do. It's important they keep the singles ticking over. They'll have their opportunities to hit boundaries.
Four singles from the over, 109 for 2.
So India need another 166 of 174 deliveries. So at the moment, they're on track. But the key for them is to keep wickets in hand and see through this tricky period with spin.
Change of gloves for Gautam Gambhir. He's on 53, Kohli 31. Partnership is a good one, 78 from 89 deliveries.
Very good partnership by Gambhir and Kohli. 79 off the 90 deliveries. Came in under pressure. Lost the two big names in Sehwag and Tendulkar, but they've managed to rebuild the innings. It's important that one, if not both, go on now and get a big score. Kumar Sangakkara calling the changes, getting Dilshan back into the attack, trying to create an opportunity. Dilshan, part-time spinner, but more than handy. He's just got this lucky knack of picking up wickets. He's not a big turner of the ball, but he's a clever bowler.
Beautifully played, back up for 4.
India on course. The run chase. They've recovered well and more importantly looked at ease against the spinners. Not allowed the run rate to get up. They've rotated Muralidharan so far and picked boundaries every time.
In the air, gone, brilliant! Dilshan with the knack of getting wickets. He gets one here, a crucial one.
Well, Tilakaragna Dilshan has been brought back into the attack. He bowled one over from the other end. He's been brought back by Kumar Sangakkara to produce something, and that's exactly what he's done. The Sri Lankan flags are flying. The key wicket of Kohli, Dilshan bowling a full, Kohli getting a leading edge, and what a catch that is. He's a brilliant fielder, he's a brilliant batsman, and that is a brilliant breakthrough for Sri Lanka. Kohli goes 35 off 49 deliveries. India now 114 for 3.
Bit of a surprise here. Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming in ahead of Yuvraj Singh, coming in at number 5, and they need a captain's knock. He's got a higher score, 34 in the tournament. Those stats are pretty good, and he plays Sri Lanka well. Historically, he has played this attack really well. And his country needs him right now.
Well, Nas, I'd have to say that the strategy behind it would have to be to maintain the left and right hand partnership. And this is the wicket, the big wicket. What a stunning catch. Dilshan, renowned as a brilliant fielder, and that's why.
Oh, so just half a chance there. An eventful over, 115 for 3. Don't think there was an edge there. Maybe half a stumping chance by Given.
It's a very full pitch ball and misjudged by both keeper and batsman. Dhoni showing his intent. He's going to get on with it. He's going to play his natural game, and he can be devastating.
At the end of 22 overs, India 115 for 3.
That's the scorecard so far. Gambhir looking in really good touch, batting on 54. Kohli looked good for his 35. Early wickets for Malinga. It's a very important phase of the game.
There you see the promotion from the captain. He's moved up to number 5. Yuvraj and Raina, 2 left-handers to come in. Tom, so you think it's the left-hand, right-hand combination rather than Dhoni plays Sri Lanka well, his highest score, 180 odd against Sri Lanka?
I think it'd have to be both, but I think firstly and mostly would have to be the left and right hander, particularly against spin. It just creates a question to both spinners. You know, otherwise they can just settle in on the same line, the same length. Murali bowls around the wicket, creating an angle to the right hander. And for the left hander, his line's going to be completely different.
Tossed up, tried to go for the fine sweep. He wants to settle for one. This will be a big test for Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Everything he's touched has turned to gold. Here is that wicket again. Leading edge, brilliant from Dilshan. Absolutely brilliant. You could argue that the non-striker could maybe have just helped Virat Kohli there a little bit. Gambhir could have turned the other way and got into Dilshan's way.
You want me to believe, Nas, what's happened after the toss this afternoon? You wanted Gambhir to turn the other way.
Anyway, get in the way of the catch.
I think it all happened too quickly.
India still have enough batting to come, with the likes of Yuvraj and Raina to follow. That's the catch again. It's brilliant. The reaction time was brilliant. And to be honest, Gautam Gambhir moved out of the way.
Exactly, that's my point. Gambhir should be moving in the way, not getting out the way. End of the over, 117 for 3.
So Dilshan doing a good job with Murali. He's a terrific all-round cricketer. Very dynamic at the top of the order with the bat. Very useful as a part-time spinner and an outstanding fielder anywhere you put him. Dilshan continues. Gambhir hits a wide of point, looking for 2. And he'll comfortably get there.
The important part of this run chase is that India has never been behind the run rate. And that's been the good quality of this batting right throughout the tournament. They've lost wickets every time, but have still managed to put a score on the board. Sit down to mid-wicket for a single. He's looked in fine touch, Gautam Gambhir.
But he must go on with it. He must go on and get a big score, particularly now he's lost Kohli, who was at the crease and established 2. He's the one that's got to get the big 100 to see this home for India.
Gambhir does get in the way on that occasion. He's hurt himself. Dilshan has dived into his shin.
Just looking at the reaction time of Dilshan, it was firmly hit by Dhoni, and he did very well to get there close to the ball. I like the intent of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He knows it's a big game. He hasn't had a good tournament so far. Could it be his night?
Well, all eyes on him as we look at that collision again. Everything he's touched has turned to gold. Dhoni is #1 in the world in test matches, one dayers now India. IPL, Chennai Super Kings won it. Champions League they won. World 2020 they won under Dhoni. Can they win the World Cup under Dhoni? Mr. Cool needs to put in a performance though. The Iceman needs to soak up this pressure.
It's interesting you say Mr. Cool. I think it's just natural. I think that's just his genuine nature. He seems very relaxed, and I think the team around him responds very well to that.
End of the over, 122 for 3.
Yeah, so MS Dhoni to me is just a very calm and controlled leader, and the team does respond, and Gambhir is certainly responding for his team. He's batted very, very well. He's picked off the boundaries when required. He's been prepared to go over the infield into open space. That's a very well compiled 50. As we see the wagon wheel, he scored runs everywhere, all around the field. Sign of a very good player.
Gambia 59 of 70 deliveries with 4 sixes. Gambia 59, Dhoni 1. The king of spin, Matai Muralitharan, still has 7 overs left. 3 overs for 8 so far. 7 overs left, 42 deliveries, legal deliveries left for Sri Lanka. What can he do? Can he spin his magic? Has he still got it? Has he still got the zip and the mystery about him to run through India here?
It'll also be important to see India's tactics to Muralitharan. Will they take him on, or they're happy to take 2 or 3 and over from him? His economy has been 2.4 so far. So the tactics of Gambhir and Dhoni and Yuvraj and Raina is very important to watch. They're all fantastic players of spin. There you see getting to the pitch and hitting it to mid-wicket. Will be looking for 2. Dhoni is quick between the wickets, but stick to 1.
Yeah, Pereira at deep mid-wicket did a very good job coming in on that one. That looked like there could have been 2. Now this is Murali from front on. Now we know that he has had issues with his groin. And one of the things I've noticed just watching him bowl over the last couple of games is that he's not driving that back leg through as much as he would normally. And a lot of that's to do with the injury that he has in his groin, and that will create a lot of pressure with regards to the revolutions he'd like to get on the ball. So he's not spinning it as much as he normally would. You know, ideally, whether you're bowling pace or you're bowling spin, you want that back leg, that leading leg, to really drive through the crease to allow you to get a lot of pace through the ball if you're bowling quick, or in his case bowling spin a lot of revolutions on the ball.
124 for 3. Yeah, Tom, I had a good read of a tweet earlier that said Murali's moving as if he retired 10 years ago. That's how the body's looking at the moment. The amount of deliveries he must have bowled and the effort he puts into every single delivery, eventually it's got to take its toll, and I think it has done on that old body of his. But the figures are still excellent. 4 overs for 10. Might be trying to play him out, India.
So Dilshan to continue into the attack. He's into his 4th over now. And a wonderful job. He's picked up an important wicket. And he's going at just over 5 and over.
So I can ask you about Murali. How do India play him? And B, 4 overs for 10. Do you think there'd have been a meeting and a chat saying we'll play him out, make sure he doesn't get any wickets, let him just go for 40 and score off the other bowlers?
I'm sure they'll have spoken about it. But the key is, how long will they have to wait? The asking rate 6 and over already. They really don't want it to go to 7s and 8s. And Murali will bowl a lot of overs from now on. 25 overs. Murali has got 6. And Malinga has got 6. So 50% of the overs will be bowled by them. So India will have to be very careful. They have dominated Murali in the past. Various players have come and gone. They've attacked Murali. But Murali has developed as a bowler. He was a different bowler when he didn't have the Dusra. It's become even harder to hit once he's developed that ball which goes away from the right-hander.
I think that's why it would be a mistake just to sit on him, because you play him off 10 overs, thank you, none for 40 or 1 for 40, and you'll have a big sigh of relief, and Malinga will come on for his 6 overs. So there is no let up. He will get wickets, so you've got to be very careful about that run rate when you're playing against Sri Lanka.
He's also human, and he feels pressure like anyone, and if you can apply pressure on him, you must do it, but you must play within your strengths. If you're a strong sweeper, well, get down and sweep him. If you use your feet well, be confident to get down the wicket and hit him down the ground.
Gambia is a very good player of spin. Both of these are. End of the over, 128 for 3. Scores are just slightly coming closer together. Sri Lanka at this stage, with the partnership of Sangakkara and Jayawardene, we're going well, 111 for 2. You can see the graph is just slightly turning towards each other, but look at the uplift towards the end. Last 10 overs, 91 runs, because they didn't lose any wickets, Sri Lanka. He's got the ball in his hand. Is it time for a bowl? There's still a debate going on. I think it is Malinga time. There is the star of the last World Cup, a magnificent 140 in Barbados, batting with a squash ball in his hand. He had a theory that day, he wasn't quite gripping the bat properly, so he put a cut-off squash ball in his bottom hand glove and smacked Sri Lanka everywhere.
He's here getting ready for the IPL for the Kings 11 Punjab. The IPL kicks off in a week's time from now on. I was in Dubai last night doing some visits for the Emirates airline, and he's out here watching the World Cup final.
So it's Malinga time, as I say. Will there be reverse swing? Will the Indian batsmen just lower their back lift as well? We've said it on a number of occasions. Watch out for the toe crusher.
Malinga's first spell. Obviously the two important dots there are the white ones, which are the key wickets. The wider one was the outside edge of Sachin Tendulkar's bat. That was a very big wicket. And obviously the one very straight was the one that caught Virender Sehwag in front of his stump. Second ball, massive wicket. Can he make another breakthrough? That's why he's back into the attack.
I bet those lengths change. Man is very square on the offside. We've seen a pitch map of his first spell. That will change in his second and third spell. He was brilliant with the new ball. So accurate. Where do you want to bowl to Virender Sehwag? Straight, no width, perfect delivery. Out on review, and this one just going away from the great man. Just on the angle because he's got a low arm. Just going away from Tendulkar. You take that as an opening bowler. Sachin and Sehwag back in the hut. Brilliant bowling.
Yeah, the real danger with Malinga is that, you know, for an opponent is he is effective with the new ball. He can get the ball to swing away from the right-hander and into the left-hander. But he can be used at any phase of the game. He can be brought back in the middle like Kumar Sangakkara has done now to try to get a wicket. He's an impact bowler. He's also devastating at the end of the innings where he's got the ability to bowl these terrific Yorkers, and he's so accurate with his Yorkers. It's very, very hard for batsmen to get underneath him.
Yeah, I'm just watching both these batsmen. They're definitely trying to get their bat down. Dhoni likes a flourish with his back lift. The one good thing so far is it doesn't seem to be a lot of reverse swing at the moment. It's quite a lush outfield, and it's not hooping big. But Gambia definitely is just getting a slightly lower back lift.
Also, Malinga looks a bit more dangerous to the right-handers with the old ball. We saw the way he got Martin Guptill out the other day in Colombo. It was an absolute chaffer of a delivery. Yorker, and he didn't have time to get his bat down, and just the angle which he creates to the right-hander.
There it is, it's always coming, but it's been squirted away for 4. That's what you get with the pace of Malinga. The ball can go anywhere.
Yeah, well bowled. You certainly can't blame the bowler for this, but equally well played. Gambhir having his bat down, opening the face and getting a thickish outside edge. So certainly an intentional shot, using the pace of the ball, recognising that there is angle going across him, like Sourav Ganguly pointed out, to the left-hander. Not quite as effective because he's tailing away from the stumps.
Full toss, doesn't quite get his length. Good over for India, 6 from it, 134 for 3. At this stage, India are 20 runs ahead. Sri Lanka were 114 for 2. Dilshan continues in the middle. Dhoni uses his feet. Continuing up here, Arnold, Shastri and Lloyd.
Like you were saying, 135 for 3 into the 28th over. We've got a game on. Oh yes, we've got a game on. Gambhir is playing splendidly, 67 from 83 deliveries. Flight from Dilshan and a slip in position.
Yes, you did right. This could be a real game. One just can't help but get the feeling that a big shot is around the corner. And not from Gambhir. Could be from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Especially against someone like Dilshan.
Now he's ended up being very useful. He's done that right throughout the tournament. And look at his figures for now. He's in his 5th over. Considered 20 runs and the all-important breakthrough.
Bottom hand shot into the leg side. There are wide open spaces there at mid-wicket, but it's just a couple.
And again, very good footwork. He's quick on his feet, and when you're playing against the spin on a track like this, where there's every chance of a leading edge or the ball beating the outside edge, you've got to ensure you're close to the pitch of the ball. Played it really well. Oh, not on this occasion. Too full. A lucky boundary.
Gets really lucky. Gambhir looking to take the game to Sri Lanka. Looks like he's gone in the back as well. Fortunate shot this, inside edge, which flies down to fine leg for 4.
Looking to go inside out again. The ball following him. Very unlucky for Dilshan.
7 from the over. Wry smiles in the field. Last delivery coming up at the 28th. Still the required rate is over a runner ball. Eased into the offside for a single. 8 from the over. It's 142 for 3. Well, a wonderful player, a spin bowler, a spin bowling Gambhir. He likes to come down the pitch. He likes to take the spinners on. I do recall against Pakistan that he danced down the pitch and was beaten on the outside and stumped, but it doesn't stop him from coming down the pitch.
Which is good. He backs his strengths. I mean, you'll get out on the odd occasion, but that doesn't mean you stop coming down the track.
It's as if he's in a bit of trouble here with his back, and 12 men or physiotherapists are going to be coming onto the pitch, but Gambia is on 74. 8 fours for him, 14 fours in the innings, 142 for 3. So let's have a look at Gambia against Pakistan. Dance down the pitch, sharp work by Akmal, the wicket-keeper, but it doesn't stop him coming down the pitch. He doesn't think that, okay, I've done that, I can't do it again. He'll still keep coming.
Which is good, because never forget your strengths. If that's something that gives you a lot of runs, it makes the bowlers think, and you will get out on the odd occasion, but that should never stop you. And what he's good at is he can come down the track, but use the depth of the crease and cut or pull anything short.
He works that out well, and that's why he's so difficult to bowl to. The off spinner, and he also does go leg side, looking for shots on the offside. So if it turns sharply, which we're not seeing today, he's never going to be in trouble.
Murali Durham back into the attack, so they just have 1 over from Malinga.
Yes, Sangakkara not wasting time. Not much happening for him, so he'd rather hold him back and see, or use him when the ball's doing something.
Just thought he might have bowled a couple, Malinga, to come back, take a wicket. Also, just hanging Murali back for when Yuvraj comes in. Off spinner against left-handed batsman. It's cat and mouse just at this stage.
But this is better from Murali. He's bowling much slower.
What's interesting to see is India's approach against Murali. They're quite happy to be watchful, knock the ball around, not attempt the high-risk shot, because he's bowled 4.3 overs here for just 12. And Yuvraj Singh padded up to come out next.
It's a strength there. And Gambia just looking to play the ball behind on the offside. Think about a second.
Top fielding again from Sri Lanka. Suraj Randev. The fielder, he got his hand to it. Upul Taranga clearing up. Well, everyone trying to take advantage of Murali these days.
It is a smashing contest. I think there's real leadership here from Dhoni. I've watched his glove punches. He absolutely flattens the guy at the other end, Gambia, when he just glove punches. It's not a tap. He really whacks him. The single again ends the 29th. It's 146 for 3.
Have to milk Murali. No risk, but keep the scoreboard ticking. Get closer. Required rate just still 6.1 for well within reach for the Indian batsman. So Sri Lanka gonna need to attack, keep building pressure and try and pick wickets. They're not gonna be able to strangle the Indian batsman, that's for sure.
It'll be all eyes on the scoreboard. I'm not sure about the 2 in the middle. And it's thirsty work out there, and they're changing hats and discussing tactics. But you look at the board all the time. Yes, it's 6 and over, just over 6 and over, 129 from 126. Nobody's leaving this ground, I can tell you that. World Cup final, 33,000 in. I shudder to think how many outside. Ball change in 5 overs time. Pereira comes back into the attack. He was expensive. But he's got a slip in position.
Which I think is a good move, because Sangakkara realizes that he needs a wicket. He needs a wicket at any cost, because the way this match is poised now, India 148, At the end of the 30 overs, there may be 152, 153. If India were batting first, you would have said 280, 300 is on the cards. But let's not forget, this is a chase in a final. And that adds a lot of pressure. So wickets the order for Sri Lanka.
And Dhoni is coming at Sri Lanka. He's seen the pace, it's gentle pace is this, 130 k's, there's nothing that's going to hurt you. And Dhoni is advancing down the pitch, he's taking the game to Sri Lanka.
And rightly so. Kumar Sangakkara also ringing the changes, trying not to let the batsman settle against any bowler. He's got to try things, and these are little things you can, because on these pitches you cannot blast batsmen out.
And it's been the battle, right? Right from the outset between these two captains, right from the toss. And they're very, very tough mentally, both Dhoni and Sangakkara.
And as Pereira got a slower delivery, he certainly hasn't got a quicker delivery, so he's got to have a change of pace. Just looking at release points of the seamers, 3 seamers that we've seen. Look at Malinga. Malinga the slinger. And Pereira is the highest action.
That's because he's the tallest. But Kulasekara, he comes up from right at the top, but he's a much shorter man.
But there's no pace. And Pereira is the higher bowler there. But I keep looking at the pace. Is there anything more than 130, 132? So what he's got to have is a change down.
He certainly does have that, and has the knack of picking up wickets.
.150 on the board. Crowd will come alive again.
As they'll take it 25 runs at a time. I think the next target for India would be to get to about 176 or so, 175 or so. They do that, and the target is less than 100. Then the countdown starts beginning.
That's when it starts playing on the minds of the bowlers, the fielders, as well as the batsmen. The batsmen start to believe a bit more, because it's 2 digits that you need.
You get into an area when it's 100 or less, no mistakes either side. You cannot make mistakes. Drop a catch, heads a go down, make a mistake as a batter, a run out.
It's amazing how when you're in the field, when you see 120 to get, you feel so comfortable with that 20, extra 20.
Flicked away into the leg side. It's just a single. 30 have been bowled. It's 151 for 3. Partnership is good. 37 from 50 deliveries. So Dhoni has come in and he's settled very, very quickly. Gambhir in at number 3. He's been a sticker. 76 from 94. We've seen a wonderful century from Jayawardene. Gambhir's got to do the same. Yuvrajd's next.
Congratulations, guys.
Well, 6 bowlers used by the Sri Lankans, 3 spinners in that. Muralidharan has 5, Malinga has 5. Those 10 will make the difference.
Here he comes again, Muralidharan, to start his 6th over. There haven't been any big shots. They've just looked to knock him around. I wouldn't say they've been negative against him. I think they've been watchful.
Well, they got plenty of time. There's still 20 overs to go. And these are batsmen who can clear the field. So giving himself a chance, that's what Dhoni needs to do.
Murali's got 5 overs left, including this. Malinga's got 5. So there are 20 overs left, so that's 10 of the overs. Run rate just creeping up, 6.31 runs an over.
We always spoke about Sachin Tendulkar, how important he is to the team. He bats for long time, maybe 40, 45 overs, gets 100 at almost run a ball. Now he's not there today, but Gautam Gambhir pops up. That's how important it is. You adjust your roles. If Tendulkar was there, he would have been more aggressive. This is allowing the others to come and play their shots.
Flight, good flight. Deceived him in the flight.
Yes, and that's what Murli has to try and do now, because what the Indians are doing, they're saying, okay, this is the last spell of his career. Let's ensure that he doesn't have a party. Let's make sure he bowls his 10 overs for 30, and then we'll take stock after that. So Murli has to entice the batsman here.
Back foot this time, powerful shot into the offside. Oh yes, it's powerful.
As David Lloyd mentioned, powerful. It's just, he's got a short backlip, but yet generates such bat speed with those wrists. First boundary for the Indian captain.
This is the mistake he's made quite a bit today. He's gone flatter and quicker. He's got to slip in place. He wants to bring him into play. He's got to get the batsman on the front foot and then have the off-spin or the doosra do the rest.
Watchful at the end, 6 from the over, 157 for 3. He gets a massive stride in. When he plays front foot, that's a huge stride against Muralidharan. He's moved on to 17, Dhoni. He looks confident, he looks determined, he looks aggressive. Good partnership, 43 from 56.
He's promoted himself up the order. That's just to keep the left-hand, right-hand combination going.
What the question? The answer is Steve Buckner.
Well, there's heaps of batting still to come for India. You'd say at this stage that India are in control, but there's 19 overs still to be bowled. You look at these two at the crease, Gambhir, Dhoni, next man in Yuvraj, then young Raina, wonderful player Raina.
He's a good player of spin. But a wicket, that can change everything. It'll bring the pressure back on the Indian batsman. That's what Sri Lanka need to do.
He's picking it off nicely. A good tempo to the innings.
They're giving Sri Lanka no chance. So you've got to give credit to the batsman. Sangakkara has a slip in place. Nothing much working his way though. But they got to stick with it because you just don't know what can happen.
And he's chatting lots, Sangakkara, to Jayawardene. Two great pals. Jayawardene was captain before Sangakkara, but he's got work to do here.
Yeah, he's got the 5 fielders in the circle.
Which is a good move. He's got to try and create some pressure, make the batsman take that extra risk. Because if you have 4 in the ring, like now he's pushed a man back to long off, it allows the batsman to pick up the singles quite easily. He's got to make them try and do something different.
Smashed away into the offside, and we've talked powerful. There's another. Immensely strong.
That just set up for him. He's quietly getting into his stride. And he was able to pick his spot.
It's a lousy delivery, is this?
Short, wide, asking to be hit. If one was a Sri Lankan here on the ground, the thing that would worry me is the body language and composure of Dhoni, the captain. Gambhir's been there for a while, but just the presence of Dhoni there in a tough situation under pressure, it just looks remarkably cool and in control.
And especially when a batsman of the nature of Dhoni is at the wicket, it really worries the opposition because at any stage he has the capability to clear the ground. So no run rate or required run rate is ever safe. And Sri Lanka have hurt at his hands. He scored 183 where he was promoted up the order when India needed to chase up about 300. And these players have first-hand experience of the damage that he can do.
50 partnership then here. Dhoni's announced himself here. He said, I'm captain, this is my stage, my final. Well, the pair of these, Gambia on 79. Classy innings. Dhoni has been terrific for me. Captain the team, got a bit of a run around. Sri Lanka scoring 274 for 6, but great response from Dhoni so far. High full toss from Pereira. Now Pereira's going for a few. He's into the end of the 7th over here, 6.5, but no maidens, no wickets, 42 runs off him. He's got to make a change.
Yeah, Sri Lanka owe it to Jayawardene for the 274 on the board, made 100. And out of the hundreds that have been made in a World Cup final, no one's ended up in the losing side.
So once Russell has said that, the whole of India would be saying Gambhir get 100.
Well, there's got to be a first, I would think. 8 off the over, it's 165 for 3.
Pereira, 7 overs, none for 43.
Well, David, forget the hat-trick. One of those would do.
Need something now, you feel, from Sri Lanka. A response. Dawn is in the mood. He really is.
Yes, but still, both these players need to get back into the groove. We've seen what drinks breaks can do. You take a break for 5 minutes, 7 minutes. You start thinking in the past. You've got to focus again. Just get back as if you're starting your innings again. Which means get your eye back in. Let's see a over or 2 go. Lovely shot.
Again, he advances down the pitch, don't he, against this medium pace. You talk about after the break, I wonder if anybody's moved seats. Partnership is 53 from 64. Teams are desperately superstitious at times, and if you're occupying that chair, do not move from that chair. We're doing fine.
Yes, what was interesting to see there, Virat Kohli is still not taken his pads off. Can't imagine him not taking his pads off till the end of the innings, unless he's anticipating that he might have to go out as a runner or someone. Otherwise, why won't he take his pads off? He's out.
The drive, mid on his straight. Delivery, Sangakkara came up to the stumps, put the helmet on, just to try to keep Dhoni in his crease.
Disappointment probably, Ravi. Lots of batsmen and they're gutted, having lost their wicket. They tend to stick around moping all day. Well, they'll be very tense. They believed a while ago. They'll need to believe some more, because you never know what can happen. 100 runs to get, a new batsman coming in. You can put the pressure on. You have to work towards that.
We're nearly out of 3 figures. India need 107. The required rate is hovering just round about 6. It's comfortable.
I think that's where this partnership, in fact, after losing 2 wickets, India have been superb. They've kept that required run rate under control in a pressure game like this.
A few mishaps from the Sri Lankans. Generally, it's been good, but quite a few knock-ons. Also, we've seen, but that's the biggest miss, a costly one. That was Gautam Gambhir when he was 30. He was put down by Kulasekara.
Dhoni again into the offside, and they settle for one. Yeah, it was a moment. And Kulasekara down there at long off, and he just momentarily hesitated going for the catch.
That was in Suraj Ranjiv's first over as well. That would have sent a message to the Indian dressing room that spin would be difficult to play out there. But now they've handled it well. They moved on and they're in control. They're controlling it smartly.
Five from the over. It's 170 for 3. A little bit cooler as well for the batting side out there, and I should think they're quite comfortable. What do you like in the crowd? I mentioned that nobody's leaving. Australia, what are you doing here?
Well,
There's Merv. Look
they're
at
a
Big
touring
Merv.
group, David. They were out in Sri Lanka for the semi-final. The next day they caught the semi-final in Mohali.
Merv Hughes
and the man
there.
in charge, Merv Hughes.
Well, he's enjoying himself. He must be saying, I've got to get back as selector of Australia to get them back on track. Big fellow. That moustache has got bigger and bigger.
And so has Merv. Yet another change of bowling. Suraj Randeep off spin. 4 tidy overs for 20, but no wickets.
Again, cleverly worked for a single. There'll be a ball change at the end of this over, the mandatory ball change. So we are in the 34th over. And interesting enough, during the water break 2 overs ago, we didn't see the rope go out. Neither are we seeing the players struggling to keep the ball dry. A sign that there's hardly any dew out there.
Ball change after this, so it'll be a fresher looking ball, the whiter ball. Nice flight, a little bit of spin. Randeep, he looks a tidy off spinner. He's very tall.
He certainly is, and gets bounce, but that's what he's got to do more. He's got to gamble here. Giving a few runs away will not matter as long as he can get a wicket.
Cleverly worked away, but that's was coming back for taking Murali on. It took him a while to realize who the fielder was. They're making it count.
Anxious. You look at the body language of Sri Lanka now in the field, and they're anxious. They know that Murali is struggling with that strain that he's got, and so India very quickly come back for 2.
Well, Randeep going straighter.
And what they're also realizing, they look up slowly at the scoreboard and say, now the countdown will soon begin. It's just 101 to get. It's different when it's 130 to get as opposed to less than 100.
Well, on the book, if you're looking for favourites right now, it's India. Need a wicket, Sri Lanka. Need one quickly.
No, there's nothing much happening out there for the bowler. I did see the ball turn a little bit when it was outside the off stump to the left-hander.
Dhoni scores yet again. Just a single. It's 175 for 3. Time for a ball change now. 34 overs. It'll be a brighter looking ball. It might be a touch harder. Who's it going to benefit? Batting side or bowling side? This is Randeep to the left-hander.
Now I'd like to see him start tossing the ball up outside off stump. The field is good. Get Gambhir come towards him. He likes to go inside out. Just try something different because it's turning a little bit and bouncing. That might be the opening you need.
Well, they look relaxed, the 2 batsmen at the crease. He's got to ring the changes. He's been trying to do that. Sangakkara, he's still got Murali up his sleeve. Still got quite a number from Malinga. Murali was prowling around there. So we've had that change of ball, and you can see very clearly there it is, Steve Davis with the old one. Get rid of that. We finished with that one.
And Steve Davis, the 4th umpire, and that's it's good to see the top 4 being rewarded at the World Cup final.
That's a good stop, but it doesn't stop a single. Kulasekaran, he's been persevered with. He's gone for 40. He's into his 7th over.
And what Sri Lanka need is some energy coming from somewhere, some inspiration.
Right now, tense faces. Everyone hoping for the best. they're trying. The bowling changes are coming in. They're trying different things, but they are anxious. They know they're in that corner right now.
Huge appeal. It pitches outside leg for me. Good word, Ravi. Energy. It needs energy. Needs something to happen.
See here now, for example, Gambhir looking to play that shot. Now you've made him do something by bringing mid-on up and mid-wicket. So Gambhir forced to go over the onside field. Now Sangakkara has to try and think in that fashion. What can he do that will make the batsman do something that's different from what they're doing? It might come off for the batting side, but it gives you a chance of taking a wicket. And that's what he needs desperately at this stage.
Flapping bat into the offside. It'll just be a single. And defensive field against Dhoni, just the four fielders inside the circle so he can pick the ball off.
Sri Lanka have to gamble now. Set tight fields and hopefully the bowlers can bowl real tight lines or those areas where the batsman can hit only according to the field.
Smashed away. Absolutely heaved into the leg side.
Yes, he was eyeing that spot. And it was hit extremely hard. It didn't get the elevation probably he was looking for. It went flat as a tank just over Dilshan.
The slow ball running the fingers over. But even then the Indian batsmen, they're showing intent. They're not giving the Sri Lankans any chance of coming at them.
And he's doing it even with the keeper standing up. Sangakkara shouldn't mind that because that's what he wants. So you can see Dhoni telling him, we've got a boundary now, just calm down. We can carry on for another 20-25 more runs of this partnership in this fashion. That could really push Sri Lanka on the back foot. Don't give them a chance to come back into the door.
That's also not bowled too many dot balls. We were talking of little targets earlier. Now the Indians will be probably targeting 200 and then take it from there.
Way ahead at this stage. India 182 for 3. Sri Lanka were 162 for 3. Just got to keep playing. Gambhir's on 87. Still not seen a 6 in this innings. Probably we've not needed one. Going up to the end of the 35th here. Going to be a cracking last 15 overs this is. Eight off the over. It's 183 for 3. Good building bricks there, really good. .92 from 90, it's still round about 6 and over, run a ball. We're at the business end of the World Cup, 183 for 3, 15 overs are left. Here come Nasser Hussain, Sunil Gavaskar and Sanjay Manjrekar.
Thank you, David. How's it looking, guys?
Well, it's looking very good for India. They've got 7 wickets in hand, including that of Yuvraj and Suresh Raina, who have batted so well in the tournament so far. 92 of 90 balls. I don't think that should pose too much of a problem. But they've got to keep this partnership going.
Well tossed up delivery from Ramdev. And also Nasir, I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming up with the order just suited his character. He likes to play these kind of innings, hard runner between the wickets. He likes to work for his runs.
He does, and he likes the fight, and he almost looks like he likes the pressure. He saw a pressure situation in the middle. He had 2 options. hide in the dressing room and send someone else out, or go out there and take the pressure situation on head on. And that's exactly what he's done. Gem of innings from Gambia, though. Beautifully paced innings so far.
Well, that's one of his favorite shots. And it's all strength, really. Placement is the key, but more than that, just the power that you need to get those ropes in that direction.
Yes, because that fielder at deep point didn't even move, didn't even bother to move, because it was hit so hard. Have a look at this, the bottom hand coming into play. It was short, and he could pick his spot.
No surprise for me now, his highest score in this World Cup. The bigger the game, and the big man delivers from India. Dhoni comes in up the order and puts in a performance.
It's another good looking shot. Same direction but closer to the fielder this time. Muthiah Muralidharan is the man. Bit of a wild throw there. What's also done is kept Yuvraj Singh in the dressing room, because had he come at the time when Dhoni came in, Muthiah Muralidharan was just coming into the attack. And for the first time we have the target with runs lesser than the balls. So Yuvraj Singh in the dressing room is also another real positive for India, and especially the opposition will be aware of the man in form. 4 Man of the Match awards is still yet to come.
But do you think it could be as simple as a right-hander replacing a right-hander?
Yeah, I think so. We debated this with Tom Moody, just a right-hand, left-hand combination. You can see fielders constantly moving around. But I also think it's that sort of person, Dhoni, of him saying, no, I'm going to go out there. I want to be part of this big stage. I want to be out there winning this game.
And also another thing, I mean, he came in front of somebody who's had a dream run in the tournament with the bat, Yuvraj Singh, and he himself hasn't quite got enough runs, so he's one guy who can simplify things in this game. Yuvraj Singh waiting in the wings. End of the over, it's 191 for 3.
Well, 8 runs coming from the over certainly has eased India's problems or worries. Now asking, it's a runner ball, 84 needed of 84 deliveries.
Really has to be time for a change here. India just coasting at the moment. They need wickets.
It was on the cards, this move from Sri Lanka. Just having a peek at the number of overs left for the Sri Lankan bowlers. We've seen Muthiah Muralidharan bowl 6 overs and Dilshan at the top just 5. So no surprise to see Sri Lanka's strike bowler back in the attack. This is the time they need a breakthrough, and he's the one expected to provide it. He's been in good form in this match. 2 wickets of Tendulkar Sehwag.
This is the game right here for Sri Lanka. Can this man break through? Usually they have 3 wicket takers. The 3 M's, Murali, Malinga and Mendes. Today only 2. And India look like they're going to sit on Murali and not give him anything. So it's all eyes on Malinga. Can he make this ball reverse swing? Can he produce something special in this spell?
Watch out for the first ball. Hasn't quite timed it. There comes the dive. Pushes the ball away. 2 runs to Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
It's a real unusual technique, Dhoni. He picks it bat up high, but then he goes down and has very low hands. Unusual technique. Not many players play like him. He's a very strong-wristed player. Hits the ball really late with a flick of the wrist. Watch the bat go up high then, but his hands go low. And it's just a little flick at the end with lots of power.
He's going to look for 2 here. There's a fierce run-up between the wickets. He's called for the second. Gambhir running towards the safe end was always going to be safe.
Yes, he's very aggressive between the wickets. Mahendra Singh Dhoni always looking to convert the 1s into 2s, getting his 6,000th run.
6,000 runs in ODIs for Mahendra Singh Dhoni. That's a very good average, and that strike rate is also outstanding, over 87.
Four runs of the first two balls. Here's Lasith Malinga. Just a wrist work on that occasion. You mentioned technique. It's one of the things that I've always felt watching him. He's not the most stylish batsman, but his technique is pretty sound. It comes through, especially when you watch him in test matches.
He plays late, but I've never seen someone who can use those wrists like he does, and in a different way from, say, a Mohammad Azharuddin or a Mahela Jayawardene, or a touch players. He uses his wrists and he whacks the ball with those wrists.
Well aware of the ball that Malinga uses to get the wickets. The full-length ball, change in pace, sometimes quick, sometimes very slow. On that occasion, the length was full. Just have a look at the trajectory. It's almost like an off-spinner there.
He picked it very late, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Maybe if it had been at the start of the innings, if Malinga had been brought at the start of the innings, he might not have been able to pick it. He might have struggled a bit. I think Sangakkara missed a trick or two. When Dhoni came in, he really should have been attacked with two of his wicket-taking bowlers, Murli and Malinga. Instead, he was playing Dilshan. He worked Dilshan away for ones and twos, so it became a little bit easy for him.
Short ball. And once again, he'll look to come back for the second, says no. Also tiring a bit in this over. You saw him on his haunches there. Yeah, it can be quite tough batting here at the Wankhede Stadium. I've always believed, you know, if there's the hottest spot in Mumbai City, this is the one. Wankhede Stadium. It's never easy playing inside the stadium. It's changed a bit. Just doing our stuff before the match.
Well, and Dhoni's struggling more because he runs harder than anyone else. He's a very unusual Indian. He runs that first run very hard, so he's just struggling a bit at the moment. End of the over, 196 for 3. Yeah, he's struggling. He needs a drink. He might be cramping up. He might have pulled something just in that hip flexor muscle up the top there where he's holding it. He's got a smile or a grimace on his face. India don't need their captain injured.
I think, yes, I think when he was trying to play that shot of the last ball, I think he might have just damaged that side muscle of his.
It seems more like a catch than anything else. He's smiling, so he's pretty light-hearted about it, so it wouldn't be too serious. Gives us time to just remind you of the ICC World Cup Champions range. ICC pleased to launch its premium range of World Cup champions, memorably and collectibles, for just 1 cent. You have the chance to reserve your piece of World Cup history before it sells out. World Cup trophies, signed bats. Tonight's victorious captain, either India's MS Dhoni or Kumar Sangakkara from Sri Lanka, for just 1 cent, and the personally signed memorabilia will be yours.
I think he's struggling here. The captain is really struggling.
Just a little concerned whether he'll be able to sign that memorabilia now. The over rates today have been very slow. Players have taken their time, but this is now looking a little concerning for India.
He's a tough guy. I think he'd want to stay there. He knows it's a very good partnership. Him going back will give Sri Lanka just the opening that they need, perhaps. So I don't think he's going to go off the field. Probably bat with a runner.
Yeah, well done to this ground staff, preparing excellent conditions here for this final match of the ICC World Cup 2011. It's just taking his time, Dhoni. Quite right. I don't think he'll leave the field. He's a tough character. Muthaiya Muralidharan round the wicket.
Just have to keep an eye on Dhoni here, see how his body is, whether he can play the big shot or not. He does put everything into his batting. Very much a power play, so he needs his body to be working.
Last throw of the dice, I think, for Sangakkara, bringing Muralidharan on, and Malinga from the other end. If they can't break through, then India will be through.
That favourite shot of his again. He's gone back for the second. This time Gambhir calls for the second run. Good running.
Just hasn't quite got that snap, Murali. Gambhir this time stronger with the running because Dhoni's struggling. Maybe Murali should try coming back over the wicket. He's stuck with round the wicket just for something different, just to change the angle for Dhoni. He might chop one onto his stumps.
This is all planned, isn't it? They've picked out the two Sri Lankan bowlers, Lasith Malinga, Muthaiya Muralidharan, the bowlers to watch out for. When you see the bowling analysis, just 22 runs of Malinga, of his 6, and Muthaiya Muralidharan 23, and is nearly to the end of his 7th over. So they picked out the bowlers that are going to respect a bit.
I think there's been some amazing decisions here today. The decision to play Sreesanth, just out of the blue, they play Sreesanth instead of Ashwin. And the decision to leave out Mendes, who's played all tournament and gone at 3 runs and over, and play a lad who wasn't in the squad till a couple of days ago. 200 comes up for India. They're coasting at the moment.
Just wonder whether Dhoni was carried away by the reputation of the surface, that it aids pace and bounce and seam sometimes under lights especially, and went for Sreesanth. Had he just looked at the surface, there was more for our Ashwin on that surface. We had to look at it in the afternoon more than maybe the third seamer.
Well, Sreesanth has been a lucky charm for India. He was in the 11 when India won the ICC T20 in South Africa. And most of the times, whenever he's been in the team, India has seldom been on the losing side. So I think he's probably the lucky charm.
He certainly wears a lot of lucky charms, Sreesanth. Great shot. And that brings up the 50, the first 50 for Mahendra Singh Dhoni in this tournament. And no celebration. He knows there's a bigger mission on here. 204 for 3.
A quite brilliant 50. Finally the bat goes up. He's playing the situation. He's not worried about personal milestones. He didn't even realise he'd got to 50. .50 from just 52 deliveries, 4 fours. Big match player.
Very tired last ball from Muthaiya Muralidharan. By one counts, he's playing his last one-day international. Very tired delivery. No zip at all. Ample time for him to just rock back and get the power into the shot.
And just a little raise of the bat towards the dressing room by the Indian captain. It really has been a terrific effort from him, as well as Gambhir. Gambhir 10 short of 100.
Moves on to 91. He's going back to the Ajanta Mendes point that you made. And I'm with you as well. He's the bowler in form, getting wickets. But I think the recent track record that Mendes had against India went against him.
Yeah, but the recent track records, what's happened in the last 6 weeks of the tournament. Mendes has been over every side. He's bowled brilliantly. That's all ancient history, how he's bowled against India a year ago, whatever. Right now, he has been one of the bowlers of the tournament, and you replace him with someone who wasn't even in the squad 2 days ago. That is a massive call.
Rangana Herath as well left out because Rangana Herath hasn't had that kind of performance against India where Sangakkara was tempted to play him. So going by actually their track record against the specific opposition. Now with DRS in this tournament, I thought Ajantha Mendis was even a better option to play because he bowls straight, couple of deliveries at crucial time, hitting on the pads, and he's in business, Ajantha Mendis. More often than not, he's straight, looking to hit the stumps. So he might just think about all those decisions, Kumar Sangakkara. Match not over yet, but certainly India in the driver's seat at this stage. And this is perhaps the second time Gautam Gambhir has broken his bat in the tournament.
And I'll tell you something, it's not the first bat that Lasith Malinga has broken in his career. Those Yorkers that hit the bottom of the bat, they're the most dangerous for bat makers.
There we go. The Lasith Malinga Yorker. That does happen these days because they don't press the bat as much as they used to. The wood is a bit soft. The blade is not really compressed hard. That's the reason you see so many broken bats these days. Flip side is you get some extra power because of the springy nature of the blade.
How many bats would you carry, Nasser, when you went on a tour?
3 max. And 2 of them would go back brand new. The other one wouldn't have had too much damage to it. Nowadays they carry 6 or 7. Because of that point, they break easy.
No, I think they carry more than that. I think Saurav Ganguly used to carry about a dozen or so.
Saurav didn't carry him. Someone else carried it for him.
Good delivery, well played too. Gautam Gambhir looking good, now looking all set for 100 in the World Cup finals. You can see he's in control now.
Oh, the Yorker. Look at the damage it's done. You can use it in the winter now at his house in Delhi. Gautam Gambhir, firewood.
I think it might be signed and auctioned off somewhere. Some benefit, some dinner somewhere. The World Cup final bat. I scored 90 in, 90 with.
Just a little to spot that one. There's a full toss in the end.
Well, his body language, Malinga's body language is not very good. He's just looking a little down.
Well, that's where you have to watch him a bit, as we see where Gautam has scored his runs. He's a good leg side player and he plays it late and back cuts it 21 runs. But Malinga can be dangerous when he has this body language because he really goes through his full repertoire. Bouncer, slower ball, Yorker, everything. Last throw of the dice, he will absolutely try every single variation he has.
Be wide, good take by Sangakkara. Wasn't easy.
Having said that, even Sangakkara's body language halfway through the Indian innings when this partnership was taking root didn't look good. He looked as if he's not got the energy that he normally displays, Sangakkara.
This partnership has really dented their hopes. Gambhir now well set here. He's moved on to 93. It's 210 for 3.
.65 needed of 66 deliveries. Sehwag out for a duck. Tendulkar disappointed the full stadium here, out for 18. Gambhir is on 93. Good partnership he had with Virat Kohli, and now an even better partnership with Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Does look good for India, isn't it? When you look at the batsmen to come. 65 runs needed. required rate 5.91. Batting power play still there. I doubt whether India will be too keen to take it until the last 5 overs. Just like the rhythm that they've created at the moment. They don't want anything to come in and just spoil that rhythm. Gambhir moves on to 94.
I really would like to see Murali just change the angle, come back over the wicket. He's taken years actually to convince him to go round the wicket. He didn't like it. He loved bowling over the wicket. I'd just like him to go back to the old-fashioned Murali. Try a couple of overs from over the wicket.
He's into his last 2 overs at the international level. This is good cricket. He's played it really fine there. Lasith Malinga, the fielder, 2 more runs to India. At the moment, they're milking the Sri Lankan bowlers.
Yes, they're taking it easy, isn't it? Not a problem at all. They're just working the 1s and 2s. No pressure being applied on them by Sangakkara. Sangakkara, look at Sangakkara right now. Head down. There he is, head down.
Also wiping the ball. A towel in his right pocket. Called wide. So nothing going right here for Sri Lanka. There'll be an applause from the crowd because they've spotted that these 2 guys have put on 100 runs for the 4th wicket.
Brilliant partnership. The class of Gambhir just batting properly and the power of Dhoni at the other end. Really good combination. Left hand, right hand as well.
This should be 4. No chance for long off. Fabulous shot from Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
He clobbered it. It was a half volley, all right. It still had to be put away and put away from the fielder. Simply clobbered that shot.
Just hasn't got that zip at the moment, Murali. He's absolutely fine, but can't quite flick it out quick enough, and Dhoni has played him brilliantly.
He did the right thing, Murali. Tossed up the ball. Last sort of hope, and now Murali decides to come over the wicket. 3 balls left in this over.
There you go. Just a change of angle. Makes Dhoni go a little bit more leg side. Makes him do something different. Takes a lot of convincing Murray to go over the wicket or round the wicket. He's a great bowler, but just at times he delays thinking for himself and changing the angle for himself. But he has been a great cricketer. He's an iconic figure for Sri Lanka. To see him carried around the ground after that semi-final was one of the memories of this tournament.
Well played. He's going to come back for the second. He slipped. And it's a good thing Gambhir noticed that.
Well, he was looking for the second. He just slipped. He's always looking for that extra run, Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Goes round the wicket to Gautam Gambhir. Coming to the end of his 8th over. No wicket yet for the maestro. Misfield. 10 runs from the over, and there's an overthrow as well. Writing on the wall now. 10 overs to go. It's 220 for 3.
Well, they're down, the Sri Lankans. Kapagedara throwing at the bowler's end and Murali not collecting it. First a misfield. He's a very good fielder, Kapagedara, and then Murali not even bothering to stop that ball. Kumar Sangakkara does not know what's happening.
You've got to say this is a top-class performance from India. We're talking about chasing in World Cups, never easy. They've taken that pressure. Lost Sehwag and Tendulkar, 2 of their very senior, important, critical players at the top. And with the lesser players, the Gambhirs, the Virat Kohlis, and now Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming into form, taking India through here.
You know what 1 billion Indians are saying, Sanjay? Still 54 needed. Don't jinx us, please. It's not over.
Absolutely. And especially with somebody like Lasith Malinga, who's got 4 wickets in 4 balls in a World Cup match.
I tell you what, it's not since I've been out here and been in this tournament I realised how worried Indian fans are. And this last week they've been so worried about this game. Worried that Sachin would get 100 but India would lose. Worried that this batting lineup will collapse. And they'll still be worried now. 54 seems a long way away. Kumar's head is dropping, but he's ringing the changes. They've gone to Randeep. Malinga's having a blow.
Also been talking about signs and destiny, divine intervention. Tendulkar on 99 international hundreds, that was a sign. Tom Moody had his theory of signs as well from the Sri Lankan point of view, with Muthaiya Muralidharan playing his final match. He's also another destiny's child, isn't it, from Sri Lanka?
Yes, I think in Test cricket he was on 799, and there was only 1 Indian wicket left, and he got that to get his 800th wicket. So yes, you could say that he also looks for a grand ending.
Can you imagine going into that test match, last test match of his career, with 792 wickets, and he got 8 wickets? Gautam Gambhir 1 shot away from 100 in the World Cup finals. 96 not out.
The due factor has definitely kicked in because Randeep is wiping the ball on the towel he's carrying.
Tucked away, moves on to 97.
Just 1 ball to go. Any other situation, Dhoni would fancy a bit of Randeep. 58-metre boundary behind him, off spinner. Any other situation, Dhoni would be running at him and whacking him straight back over his head. He's been very strong through extra cover, especially off Muthaiya Muralidharan.
Pretty unique wagon wheel of Dhoni. End of the over. 223 for 3. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is batting on 60 of 61 balls. Strike rate of 98.4. More importantly, getting into a partnership that is getting India very close to winning this World Cup. That's been a strong area. Those kind of bludgeons off the back foot. Very strong arms come into play. Good placement. Promotion that worked for India. Mahendra Singh Dhoni coming up the order. He's not out 60. He's got Gautam Gambhir for company, not out 97. And as you can see, those yellow streaks on the offside has favoured that area. And behind square on the onside, it's where he got some runs in this extremely precious innings for India. Time to get the helmet on. Thisara Pereira played a real nice cameo in the afternoon. But David Lloyd and Tom Moody, Ravi Shastri take over.
Thank you, Sanjay. Here goes Pereira. 97, Gautam Gambhir, and how well he's crafted this innings. He's paced his innings beautifully.
We've already been privileged to see one wonderful 100 in the Sri Lankan innings. Mahela Jayawardene batted so superbly well for his 100. And it's looking like we're going to see another brilliant reply by Gambhir.
Baldem! A needless shot coming down the track, looking to hit through the offside, gets an inside edge, and the ball crashes onto middle stump. And a sigh of relief for the Sri Lankans.
Still alive, just. Sri Lanka, they look demoralised. It needs something special. We've seen a special innings. Poor fella falls short of a century. It's middle stump, half a pint back. Gambhir is bowled by Pereira. A response at last from Sri Lanka. Gambhir has gone for 97, 223 for 4.
Yuvraj Singh comes out to the middle. He's had an outstanding tournament out, first ball in the last game against Pakistan, but vastly experienced, over 250 matches, terrific strike rate, and he comes in with a side needing 52 runs to win the World Cup. So some hope for Sri Lanka with Gambhir's dismissal.
Well, Gambhir's dismissal was a great surprise to us up here. He batted so beautifully well, and you would have thought he just needed to knock the ball around. He had Dhoni at the other end that was playing well, but he'll look back on that shot and he'll feel, why have I done that? What an opportunity I've missed. I could have carried this all the way through for my team.
What he's done is he's given the Sri Lankans now a sense of belief. Well, could there be another twist here?
Well, they were on the ropes, absolutely on the ropes. Complaining a little bit about the wet ball. They've just got an opening. India need 52 from 50. New man in, Yuvraj. And there's a slip in position.
And it's the only way they can win this game. Sri Lanka is taking wickets.
I'm just thinking if Dhoni plays any different. He's been so dominant. Wonderful partnership with Gautam Gambhir. And Dhoni's on 60 from 61 deliveries. Now he's got, I mean, he's a colossus, Yuvraj. He's played brilliantly. What's in his mind?
Pulled away in grand fashion. And a nice way to open the account. It's 227 for 4.
Well, it was nearly predictable. Yuvraj has got the reputation of being a little bit vulnerable to the short ball, and it was coming at some stage, but that didn't get up at all. It was waist height, and it was a help yourself delivery. Get off the mark, UV, with a 4.
And it's slow, 128k. It's got to be much quicker than that. I think they might be looking at changing the ball again. Both umpires are together. It certainly is. I think there'll be a ball change as to whether the ball has got soft or the seam has got wet. Murali, for one, has been saying that this ball is not good enough, so we're going to have a ball change. Steve Davis brings a box off. Just to be clear, the ball is changed after 34 overs, mandatory, but it can be changed at any stage if the umpires think that the ball is out of condition or it's an unfair cricket ball. They can change it, so that's what's going to happen after 42 overs. Very interesting to see what sort of ball they get now. One, it will be dry.
So 227 for 4, 8 overs to go. Less than 50 needed for India. Randeep into his 8th over.
It's always challenging for the slower bowlers when the dew does affect the ball. They really rely on gripping the seam, and when the seam gets soft and wet, it's very hard to get a good grip and get purchase. A little bit easier for the quickies though.
Well, this one should be fine because it's a dry ball out of the box. It'll be in decent condition. We've got 8 overs still to be played. Randeep is into his 8th over. He's wicketless.
It's a massive crowd. They waited and they watched a terrific final. Sri Lanka setting India a stiff target. India up here with the chase. Still 47 to get. The thing India had in their favour, they've got experience out in the middle, and they've got some depth in batting.
It's form as well. Yuvraj has been in terrific form all World Cup with bat and ball. He's been a real, well, he's been the X factor in the Indian side. And, MS Dhoni has found his form just at the right time.
Well, perfect timing from Dhoni, but there's still work to be done. 46 from 44. Just a glimpse of the bowling figures there. You'd think he's got to get his best bowlers on.
Sometimes you feel he's got a technique of his own, just relies on eyesight and fast hands.
Well, he's effective, very effective. Captain leading from the front. I like the way Sangakkara is just manoeuvring the field. He gets everybody where he wants them. He's got to slip in again. And oh yeah, a good catcher. Short extra cover, good move.
He's got that away fine. He won't reach the boundary though. It'll be 2 leg byes. 5 of the over, 232 for 4.
Well, it's still hovering at 6 and over, 6.14. It's comfortable, you would say. 43 from 42. And these 2 at the wicket, vastly experienced. So it's for Sri Lanka to respond, to come up with something, a little bit of magic from somewhere.
So India needing 43 more runs to win from 42 balls. They've got 6 wickets in hand, and at this stage look firm favourites.
It's a doddle, Ravi. Absolute doddle. Run a ball, knock them off, start the tuk-tuk, let's go.
You'll be better off walking tonight if India gets those 43 runs, Bumble. That's a fierce square cut. Over the boundary. Short, wide, and he went after it, Dhoni.
Well, that's the first 6 by the Indians in this innings, and a good timing for one to come. Pereira short and wide, and Dhoni helped himself to that width and hit it well over point. Terrific shot, fast hands through the ball, carries all the way.
Glimpse of the helicopter, just a glimpse. Ravi Shastri talking about walking home. There's a helicopter out there.
Has to hurry, chance of a run out. The bowler wasn't backing up, and Dhoni really upset. Last thing you want at this stage is a run out to just open up the game.
Message to Yuvi, don't run the captain out.
It was interesting, actually, just seeing this hand signal by MS Dhoni to Yuvraj. He's apologised to Yuvraj. Yuvraj has called him through, but MS Dhoni was watching where the ball was and not trusting his partner. You'd do well to run him out, though, wouldn't you? God, he's so quick.
Both these players, Yuvraj the taller, big strides, but Dhoni is explosive. This time gets the single, but what a moment he's chosen to play his best innings in the World Cup. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, 69 now. David Lloyd mentioned about the helicopter. I promise you, if India win, the helicopter will be for MS Dhoni. The tuk-tuk and walking to the hotel will be for David Lloyd.
I'm out of here tonight. I'm flying. Well, I'll rephrase that. I'm hopefully flying. 69 for Dhoni.
I think they're preparing a hot air balloon for you out the back there, Bumble.
Anything will do. Get me to that airport. 35 required.
Interesting, Pereira on that occasion just holding it across the seam. Just seemed to offer a little bit of difference off the wicket. It may have just caught the seam of the ball or the leather and skidded on. Quite a lot of bowlers do hold it across the seam when it is wet.
You can see where Yuvraj Singh is standing.
Well, he's standing on a dry area. That's why he's out there. It must be a little bit greasy running on the green strip that he's just off the wicket itself, so he's running on this worn pitch. He's very close to the fielder as well.
Well, luckily Dhoni knows the colour and he knows it's not too short mid-wickets out there. Eight of this over already. It's 240 for 4.
Well, they must have worked it out between them that Yuvraj would run on that drier pitch. Looks confusing. And certainly for Dhoni, the batsman, to look up and not see Yuvraj. He's not seeing him. He's almost at straight mid-wicket. Sri Lanka at this stage were only 205 for 5. India coasting.
It's been a magnificent chase by the Indians so far. Remember, this is a World Cup final and you're chasing a score in excess of 5 runs per over. Never going to be easy. There'll be nerves, the expectations of a billion people. We've got a jam-packed stadium here. All went quiet when India were 31 for 2. But now you can just see they're still on their edge, almost ready to erupt. And the next over there could be fireworks because power play will have to be taken, batting power play. Yes is the call. Dhoni is quick, direct hit. They will go upstairs to the third umpire. Now this can be touch and go. Excellent piece of fielding.
He's fast, he is rapid. What do you think about body language out there at Sri Lanka? It's a direct hit. They're always tasty.
This could be trouble. We'll have to take it one frame. In fact, it's touch and go. It's touch and go, like I said. He might get the benefit of the doubt here. Now this will tell you. Yes, it's a tough one for the third umpire. Excellent piece of fielding.
Yeah, Chamara, Kapilgetra there at backward point, showing the jaunty style. Run-out technique, diving with the ball and hitting directly, and this is going to be a very close call.
In.
Umpire Lloyd.
He is rapid. As I say, they're always tasty. You see that frame there when the bail is just coming out of the groove. He's just in for me. Nothing to do with me, though.
Exactly, and a really tough call for the third umpire. The fact that he's watching it so many times means there's an element of doubt. That normally goes in favour of the batsman. And the crowd come to life.
Relief for India. The captain survives. A very close call, but you'd have to say it's the right decision.
It's a little more relaxed Indian dressing room.
Well, an anxious moment there, but he's so quick. Talking centimetres. Accepted by Sri Lanka. Everybody watching the big screens. Good decision.
A loud shout, big stride forward. He's asked for the review. Well, he has to take a chance now with just 33 to get.
Well, Kumar Sangakkara didn't hesitate. He appealed and also signalled to the umpire that he wanted to review that as soon as he got the nod out.
Round the wicket, Randeep. High drama here. There will be. The back end of the game. Let's check this. No ball. Carry on. Comfortable there. And then you start looking for inside edges or nicks. Might be a big inside edge. Huge inside edge. See the deflection there.
Yes, and he's a tall man. It's a big stride forward. He would have been struck outside the line if the ball hadn't hit the bat. So the original decision stays. And India at the moment on the home stretch. 33 needed from 33. Let's not forget, both these teams have won a World Cup each. India 83, Sri Lanka 96.
Well, they both played terrific cricket here. A century from Jayawardene to propel the innings, 274 for 6. And what a response by India. It's not over yet, 32 from 32 deliveries.
Let's put it this way, it's a game worthy of a final in front of a jam-packed stadium. Made by two Asian giants.
I think there'll be quite a number watching on TV as well, Ravi. 33,000 in here, about 2 billion watching elsewhere. It is a really good game. Two best teams for me. I need something special. We saw that from Jayawardene. Just look in his eyes. What does he think? What's in those eyes? Can he win it?
Played away, 5 of the over. It's 2:45 for 4.
.30 from 30. Look at this partnership. Yuvraj comes in, starts knocking the ball around. Partnership is a run of all 22. Last wicket to fall, Gautam Gambhir, 97 from 122 deliveries. You just feel that India are picking this off now.
So batting power play will have to be taken. 45 overs have been bowled, and the last throw of the dice from Kumar Sangakkara. Lasith Malinga into the attack. Let's not forget what he can do when he's bowling at the death. He's a kind of bowler who can take 2 or 3 wickets in an over. He's done that already in this World Cup. And the Indians will be aware of that. 30 needed from 30.
And the other point to make, Ravi, is that the batting power play has got a few teams in this World Cup in a bit of a pickle. Where it should be working for them, somehow they find themselves losing wickets during it, and it working completely against. So Sri Lanka will be hoping that's the case.
And no team knows better than how that pickle tastes than India. Twice early on they messed it up. I see the faces, the tension's still there. They want this over and done with. Either way, fans of both sides. It's nerve-wracking. Here's Malinga. And what Yuvraj will have to watch is the change of pace from Lasith Malinga, and also the Yorker.
Yeah, he's got wonderful variation, Lasith Malinga. He's got that off-spinning slower ball. And he's got that very, very good Yorker that just tails into the right-hander. He's also got a lively bouncer, and I'm sure he'll be looking to test Yuvraj out with that short ball. And there's been a slight change in the field with the third man coming into the ring, which is interesting, and deep mid-off going back. So the deep fielders are deep cover, deep mid-off and deep square leg. He's just in front of square too.
Looking for the big flashing drive through the offside.
Well, I can only think that pushing mid-off back, there's going to be lots of slower deliveries. Let's have a look at India in batting power plays. We're into the batting power play now. 30 for 4 against South Africa. West Indies 28 for 4. What's the best one against Bangladesh? First game. 48 without loss.
Again, the Yorker, he's kept that out. Bang on target. It's amazing how he adjusts, whether it's a left-hander or right-hander, he still gets it spot on.
Well, having worked with the Sri Lankans and having worked with Malinga, he has practiced this. He would, in the nets, he wouldn't want a batsman there, but after he's had a bit of a bowl to batsman, he would get an old pair of shoes, put them at the crease, and he'd run in and target those shoes. And he used to do that time and time again until he developed the ability to hit it consistently. So it's no surprise to me that he's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, at bowling at people's feet.
And it's such a quick arm action that if you've not played him before, it takes a while for you to adjust.
It's a good over, is this so far? Just look at this, 4 dot balls. That's what he does at the end, at the death. He's all over the place, it seems, but just look at these pulsing deliveries. Those are wickets, look how full they are. This is a fabulous over. 30 required from 26.
What he'll do with this over is he'll make India take chances in the over coming up after this. He'll target whoever the bowler is. That gives Sri Lanka an opportunity as well to take a wicket. 30 from 26 now. It's amazing how when you're chasing and you know the target, you can think differently. If India were batting first and Lasith Malinga was into the attack at this stage and India were in this position, they would look to attack him.
And what does he come up with now? This is the last delivery coming up at the 46th over. He's only gone for 2. He's had the towel out again to dry the ball. The field's set with deep long off, as if he's going to bowl slower deliveries. We've seen the Yorker get in there. Yuvraj has got a high back lift.
Drives down the ground. There is a long on. 3 runs off that last over. It's 248 for 4.
Well, it's just ticked up again. Required rate is 6.75, 27 from 24 deliveries. We're in the last 4 overs. Malinga, what's he ball? 8 overs, 2 for 31. So he can bowl another 2 overs. He bowls 48 and 50 if required. There's a committee meeting out there with Sri Lanka. Everybody's involved.
So 248 for 4. Crowd just about beginning to loosen up, but not quite yet.
There's a huge meeting going on there. Wicket-keeper Jayawardena's in it. 2 great mates here. Wonderful players and captains. Murali joins in. Here he comes with his 2 penneth. Malinga 8 overs, 2 for 31. Randeep 9 overs, none for 43. Look at Murali, he's right in his ear there. Who's it going to be? Who's going to bowl?
So I think the issue is whether they go with spin with the dew about and the slippery ball, or do they go with a medium pace? They have decided to go with Kulasekara. He has got experience of bowling in the death, and he can get the ball very full and very straight. So obviously it's very difficult for the spinners to get a decent grip on the ball. Hence Murali is still sitting on 8 overs with 2 overs to bowl.
And I reckon this could be the moving over for India. They will target him. 27 needed from 24. There's a deep mid-wicket. There's a long on and long off. Those are the 3 fielders in the deep. The rest all in the circle, because they have to be. You're allowed only 3 outside the circle. Yuvraj goes for it down the ground. Brings Dhoni back on strike.
Kulasekara has shown us nothing so far in this game, and look at his figures: 7 overs, none for 47. I wonder if he's going to look to get his Yorker in. A look at pace again, just 126. So he can't pace up, he's got to pace down.
Well, what he's relying on, Bumble, is getting the ball underneath the bat. He has to bowl Yorkers. You know, if he takes pace off the ball, there's too many open spaces for the batsman to hit through and over the field. Short ball, he's not quick enough to hurry the batsman, so it's got to be Yorkers, all 6 balls.
That's it very hard through the offside. It's gone to the boundary like a tracer bullet. The 250 comes up.
Well, that's the problem. It's only inches. If you're short of the Yorker, you find it racing to the boundary, and particularly when you've got someone like Dhoni who's in. He's not only got power, he's got placement.
Well, he smears that through extra cover. Look at the bend in his knees. This is bat speed and hands. 6 4s and 1 6, Dhoni. On to 75.
That's what an innings this is in a World Cup final. It's by a captain going it quicker than a runner ball. He's just soaked and absorbed all the pressure. 22 needed from 22. Straight down the ground. There is long on, and they'll come back for 2. No, Dhoni sent back, and rightly so. He was not seeing the ball.
They're just going to have a look at this. It's a direct hit. There don't seem to be any alarms out there, but I know that the umpire's having a look at this. There's a shot down the ground. It's a mid-on fielder who comes in and picks the ball up, throws at the stumps. Kabagedera's down there, and he just knocks the ball away, picks up. He's in. Oh, he's in.
Well, there were some stern words from Dhoni there, looking at Yuvraj, telling him when you're running in, make sure you're not far away from the stumps, otherwise I don't know where you are. He was once again on the pitch. This should be not out. So 21 needed from 21 balls. Onside, 4 more. So the Indians rightly targeting Kulasekara.
Well, Nuwan Kulasekara is not getting that Yorker in. Instead, he's delivering a very friendly full-pitch delivery, which Yuvraj deals with quite brutally.
He doesn't miss these. 128 Ks, smashed away mid-wicket. 10 from the over in 4 deliveries. 17 required, India.
Yes, and you can already see in the stands everyone loosening up. They've been quiet all this while. There'll be a huge weight off their shoulders in about 10 minutes' time. Oh, unlucky not to get that away. Nice, full, juicy, full toss.
Can't get it in there, can he? Yorker's not going in there.
John Tremendous looking on. He missed out. Played all the World Cup. Bowled very well. He was overlooked for this match. Yuvraj Singh has had a wonderful World Cup, and he's capping it off by supporting his captain in these final stages. Kumar Sangakkara's mind would be racing. What can he possibly do?
Picked away on the onside. He'll find long on, but it's a big over for India. 11 of it. 259 for 4.
And some real damage there to Kulasekara. 8 overs now, no maidens, none for 57. The quiet Sri Lankan fans team also, that just may have knocked the stuffing out of them. They still got to believe. 16 required from 18 deliveries. Dhoni's on 76, Yuvraj on 18. Partnership 36 from 34, 16 required.
So 259 for 4. 16 needed from 18 balls. India cruising along at this stage. They've had some terrific partnerships in the chase. Don't forget, they were 31 for 2 at one stage. And when Tendulkar was dismissed, there was stunned silence here at the Wankhede Stadium. But now, slowly but surely, they realize that the team is minutes away from lifting up a World Cup. Lasith Malinga, can he do something special for Sri Lanka? Lovely shot through the offside. There is a man in the deep, suggests the single.
Well, they just released now, India. You can see the end of this game, just 15 required, and there's a flow to the play. Flow from Yuvraj, and Dhoni's in there. He's got strike again.
Now just re-looking his field. Well, it's a big moment for the boards of both the countries. 8 playing in the final. You can see the president of the ICC is a former president of the BCCI. He will be making way to go downstairs. It's a proud moment to be part of an administrative unit that lifts the World Cup. Nicely placed. It's racing away. Beats the fielder in the deep. 11 required now.
Incredible timing. MS Dhoni has pulled off a magic innings here, and this is a great example of it. The timing and the placement once again. There's a slower ball by Malinga, but Dhoni still managed to time it beautifully behind square and just raced away to that boundary.
He's tickled that, nothing more. Just eased on it. His feet get in a great position. How many is he now, Dhoni? 80.
And the message is sent for all and sundry who were barking around over the last month and a half about his form with the bat. 4 more. He's doing it easily.
Another slow ball by Malinga and another amazing shot. It was nearly like a sweep shot. Flicked it away and it just went like a tracer bullet to the boundary.
It's a flick, nothing more. Quickly moving on to 84. 7 required now. Where's that tuk-tuk?
It'll be there, David. Just finishing off on Dhoni. Everyone was screaming down his neck about his performances with the bat. They were barking away. What he's done today, he's made the bat do the talking, and everyone will shut up.
It's a brilliant chase, is this? We're only into the 48th over. Nearly there, India.
Oh, excellent Yorker between the legs, but it's just 7 runs needed. And the crowd will be ready to erupt in a matter of minutes. And if you want to know where the biggest party in the globe will happen, it's just one place: India. And that's after 5 minutes or so. 7 needed. And what a chase this is in a final. And it's a team that sits number 1 on the rankings. Surely after this World Cup, they'll move up to number 1 in the one-day rankings as well. They deserve to.
You can't argue with world champs. On the brink. Sri Lanka on the brink.
This Mohandas Menon tells me even if they win this, they'll be number 2, but they'll say, we don't care. The World Cup is what's more important. Six needed now.
He can't, can he? One hit. Just one hit. Yuvraj on strike at the end of the 48th. They're all in. Nobody's left.
It's 28 years India has waited for this. 83 was when India won the World Cup. Lots of similarities there. At least a couple I can remember. Both the captains, their surnames are with D. Also, both the presidents of the Board of Control for Cricket in India were from Nagpur. Will be from Nagpur. NKP Salve was the president then. Seshank Manor, the president now. 11 off the over, 270 for 4.
Are racing away with it now, India. And just need 5 to win from 12 deliveries. Yeah, those parties can start. They'll be dancing in the streets all over India. Shudder to think what it's going to be like here at the ground at the Wankhede. He's been lucky, that boy. Comes into the game at the final do. He's happy.
So everyone now just about beginning to clear their throats. And there'll be a lot of thirsty people around in minutes time. 270 for 4. 5 runs to win a World Cup. And it would also mean with just 5 to go, it might well be the last over, so no more Murli. Take the single. So Dhoni has a chance of finishing things off. India 1 hit away from winning the World Cup for the second time, and they're in a position to do something unique. They won a 60-over World Cup in 1983. They won the 2020 World Cup in 2007, and now a 50-over World Cup if they win this.
Should also spare a thought for obviously the Sri Lankans. They have played exceptionally well here tonight. The support team there, very long faces. They'll be disappointed, but they can walk away from this contest very proud nation. They have played exceptionally well. They've played it in the right spirit. But also the other person you should think of is Gary Kirsten, the coach of India. You know, what a way for him to leave his team.
Absolutely magnificent. Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup after 28 years. The parties start in the dressing room, and it's an Indian captain who's been absolutely magnificent. in the night of the final.
Well, he's demolished it, he really has. 91 from 79 deliveries. MS Dhoni, 8 fours, 2 sixes. Look at the scenes here, great joy at the Wankhede. Great joy, you would say, all over India. They've been magnificent. This has been a super game of cricket.
Players jumping around for joy, and why wouldn't they? Have had such a wonderful World Cup, the Indians. They've dominated, and they have played a side that is equally dominated throughout the tournament in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, as I said, should walk away very proud, but it's India are the side on the night. They are the champions, and they deserve to be. They've been sensationally led by MS Dhoni, finding himself 91 not out to see his team home.
223 for 4, just a sniff for Sri Lanka, and then a partnership of 54 in 42 deliveries between Dhoni and Yuvraj. Great restraint from Yuvraj, he's played for the team there, but there are wonderful scenes here. Nobody has left the ground. One team achieves, the other will be desperate, but they've got to the final. They've played the part, Sri Lanka. This has been a super game of cricket.
Kumar Sangakkara is being congratulated by the Indian players, and he should be. He's led the Sri Lankan side very, very well. The Indians are beside themselves. They're carrying their captain off the field.
Sachin running out there, and it's not been the Sachin show. Shown real teamwork, India. 2 down, 2 for 31. Both openers back in the shed. Sachin there, what does it mean to him? He still looks a boy, 38 years of age. A lot more to come from him. Fireworks are off. They're banging away here, up in the sky, down on the ground.
And the fireworks will be going all night, you can guarantee that. This is just the start of it. It'll be going all night and for many nights to come. It's been a special night for India. India have waited since 1983 to repeat that amazing win in England, led by Kapil Dev, but now MS Dhoni has done the job for India.
Well, it's been a 100% game from everybody, from India, from Sri Lanka, from the umpires, from the crowd. It's been absolutely marvellous.
Yuvraj Singh being hugged by his teammates. He's had a wonderful World Cup with bat and ball. There goes Matai Muralidharan. What a champion, and he should be very proud of what he has done this World Cup and throughout an amazing career, both in one-day international cricket and Test cricket. He's been an incredible performer.
Well, that's Team India, really is Team India. Many have said that this is individual stars and glamour players. We've seen real resilience here, 31 for 2. Both openers, big stars, big players dismissed. Younger boys came in, look at Harbhajan, he's in tears.
Well, there's the man, Sachin Tendulkar. He's been carried by his team. He's loved by his team. He's loved by his country. He's loved by the cricketing world. What an icon of the game.
This is his home ground. A new look ground. Unfortunate that he couldn't make a big impact. But when you win a World Cup, you forget about everything else.
Well, yes, I know he would not feel the pinch of not getting 100 in the finals. He knows he's got opportunities to do so. Get that 100. He's got opportunities. But to win the World Cup, that opportunity comes only once every 4 years. He's been in one final. He's had some disappointments. This is a big moment for him. This is a moment he is going to cherish.
MS Dhoni will collect the World Cup trophy. And he'll get it from Mr. Sharad Pawar, the president of the ICC. The party begins in Mumbai. And that's it from the presentation area.